Yo, yo, yo.
We are back.
MIA Radio.
Yes, MIA.
And we're back.
No number or number?
102.
102. All right.
Dos. And we
Episode
got
102, yes.
We got a special guest in the building. The tough guy.
Tough guy in the building. DJ ENTICE. What's good, brother?
Mr. Someone Bring Me a Challenge. I just wanted to say that once.
What's up, man? It's an honor to be here. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for joining us,
coming
brother.
through, man. We've been, I've mentioned it. Like, we've been wanting to have you on. It's just,
long time coming.
Yeah, you were on the. I'm pretty sure like on the first list.
You're one of the. We consider you a Miami legend, bro.
Yeah,
we could say it. Give you the roses while you're here, brother.
For real, dude.
I appreciate it.
OG in the game, but still one of the few that been doing it for a while, but still doing it and at a high level.
Right.
Like I say.
Right.
So yeah, for sure, bro. So and we want everyone in Miami and everyone that listens to this podcast to know more about you, bro. So that's why we brought you on.
All right, let's do it.
So yeah, we could kind of
break it down just off the start,
because you got a lot. A lot. You've done a lot.
Yeah.
So I mean, first of all, let's talk like influences growing up, childhood, and then what got you started. Like, what was it?
Well, so I mean, like growing up, I always liked to listen like to music. You know what I mean? I was very big into like Nirvana, rock, and then I was big into like Michael Jackson, Motown. Of course, I loved hip hop. I think one of my first hip hop albums was Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style.
Nice.
That's a classic.
Classic.
Front
classic.
to
back. Front to back. Pause.
That's a top 3 album of ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. So, I was always into that. And then, I was really a sports buff. Like I played sports year round in school and stuff like that. And then I think it was like sophomore year in high school, I met some kid. He wanted to be a DJ, so he bought like belt-driven Gemini turntables, like trash.
Right.
You know what I mean? He tried it. He was one of my neighbors. He didn't like it, so he sold it to me for like $100. And at the time, I was always listening to the radio, like Power 96.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I would listen to 99 Jams. I would listen to I would even listen to what was it back then? Magic 102.7.
Right.
I mean, they didn't have mix show. You know what I mean?
Right.
But so I was really big. Like I got caught up to like hearing DJs play and the idea, like hearing DJs mix records and stuff. So when the guy was like, yo, I'm selling my stuff for $100. Figured why not?
Right.
Bought it, give it a try, started practicing and, listening more to DJs and Jam Master J's. And like, he was one of my favorites growing up. You know what I mean? So had to be a DJ.
Right. So it was there any local, like, were you going out? What was the scene? Were you like just bedroom? Were you like one of those guys that like you would go and you'd be like the meme in the corner, like, or did you like jump to the clubs? What was like the
Wait, what sport were you playing?
So I played football, soccer, and I ran track.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was interested because a lot of DJs play sports, but you can never like put
you
them together.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the soccer was like since I was born because I'm Brazilian French.
Okay.
So soccer was natural. Football was something always I wanted to do, and then in school they made me do track because I was fast.
Right.
So they just said, "Yeah, do track." You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But going back to what you said, also, locally, I mean, my sister is like 4 years older than me.
Okay.
So when I was a freshman in high school, she was graduated. She had just graduated going into college. So she was taking me out when I was 15.
Plug.
I was going out. I mean, I'm sure y'all remember. A lot of people wouldn't know, but like KGB on Washington and like 6th Street, like Warsaw, like clubs like that. Like I was going out to those spots. You know what I mean? And then when I started DJing, I got a little older and I was able to actually go out myself.
Right.
I was going out to like, back then it was like Epps was doing a lot of stuff. Mikey Sim was doing his thing. I was going to a lot of his vibes, his parties and stuff, like the 609,
right.
Chili Pepper vibes.
Right. Got it.
So,
got it.
I kind of got an influence from them and then, built like a little bit of my own character out of that.
So what was like the first party you DJ'd?
First party I ever DJ'd.
Yeah.
Official.
All right, so official. Like, okay, so I did a house party. Some guy I knew. It was like some Jamaican dude that I had met on AOL. Remember AOL?
Of course. Actually, speaking of, this is a good time to plug in the merch.
Oh yeah, we got that AOL.
We do have,
bro.
We met an AOL too.
AIM.
Well, AIM T. Ed's gonna pull it up for us. The intern's gonna pull it up as we continue this conversation.
Yeah.
Put the link at the bottom.
Ed. Oh, I didn't know if you heard me.
But anyways,
that's dope. Yeah, I'm gonna need one of those, by the way.
Yeah.
ASL, I remember those on the chat room.
Of course,
ASL pick. ASL pick.
I was deep into those chat rooms, bro.
For real, man.
So this is the tea we did. We flipped the AIM into MIA.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's dope.
And then we did the CD.
How
You remember?
wild was those fucking chats, bro?
Dude.
Back it was a wild west.
Yo, those chats were the wild west. Imagine that nowadays. Oh my god.
Did you guys ever watch? Yo, speaking of, this is super sidetracked, but To Catch a Predator.
Yes,
Yeah.
Dude. When that shit was hot, you remember, like, that was like pre Twitter, like, like shit, but like that's that kind of shit. Like you would see those fucking, bro. I would get so happy, and like that show is like an emotional roller coaster,
right?
You'd be like, damn, this motherfucking, I want to fucking kill this motherfucker, rapist, and then you see him, and then you're like, oh, and he goes into the house, and then like you see like. You get grossed out by like his intentions,
right?
You know, and then they never see the kid or they never interact, whatever. But then the punchline when this motherfucker comes out and like he comes out like swinging though.
You know why you're here?
He always says something clever like that's why you brought the cookies, huh?
And they're acting like they don't know. Like,
it's always
right.
It's always like a trap. They always throw like the bait, and then he always be like the guy on CSI when he takes the glasses off. Like,
wow, that's
David
funny.
Caruso.
Yeah.
But you were on AOL.
Yes,
right.
I was on AOL. I was meeting like local guys that were DJs or whatever. You know, and met some dude. He was like a Jamaican dude, and we kind of became friends. Like we would link up every once in a while, practice together and stuff. And then he booked me for some house party. First time I ever saw someone do lean. I think I was 18, 19 at the time. Tripped out. It was a crazy party. Like, just awkward. The people were acting weird. They wanted the music slowed up for real. Like, it was just crazy.
Wait, so you met this dude on the internet? No, I'm saying that.
Nah, man, because that sounds crazy.
Yo, you're ahead of your time.
AOL.
You got your first booking was AOL.
Wow,
pimping,
wow.
boy.
That's
fucking.
But then but aside from that, like official, my first real party was actually with Khaled. When Khaled found out I was a DJ, because I was actually cool because of my sister, I was cool with Irie. Because my sister, like I said, she was older, she was in the club scene, so she knew Irie, so she introduced me to him. Like, my little brother wants to be a DJ. So Irie knew Khaled and knew Khaled was starting a party. It was called Saturdays. It was at Crave, which then became Sobe Live, which before Crave was called Zen. Yeah. This is old.
Yeah, it's really old.
Jesus. But so when it was Crave, Khaled started a party called Saturdays. So he, Irie told him, yo, try him out, see if you like him, whatever. So he had me open up for him. And when he walked in, I think it was like 1:00 and it was slammed in there. Everybody was going crazy. And he was just like, you're my DJ every week. So that was like my first official party, and crazy that it was for Khaled and turned into a weekly gig. You know what I'm saying?
And how old were you then?
18, right?
I think at that point I was like 19, 20, turning 20 already.
Damn,
yeah.
So you just got right into the fucking
thrown to the wolves. Yeah. Like it was thrown to the wolves to the point where it's like just started DJing. I'm still, really like, making my collection of vinyl.
Yeah.
And I got like Mobb Deep walking in the room, Nori walking in the room, Busta walking in the room, and I'm like,
and at that point,
I just started DJing, bro.
How were you like skill wise there?
I was so I was nowhere near where what I am today, but I was actually pretty good because, like I said, like growing up, I was just I liked music, so I knew my music, and I mean, if you can learn how to mix and do decent scratching on Gemini belt drive turntables. You know what I mean? By the time you get the real turntables, you're decent enough.
Right,
so, I was decent. I could do some clean scratches. My mixes, my blends were clean. So, I was decent.
But you were rocking the party at that, like already right off the bat. Like you weren't opening, you weren't.
I was just his opener. Okay, he would usually show up like he would, Khaled was always a grand entrance person, like from day one. So he would always pull up like by 1:30, 2:00. So I was opening, but back then, like that was still like a very prime time, 1:00. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie, it took me a while before I actually got on the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at that time,
that was my next question. That was my next question. And then what was a Vibe opening back then? Like what was
it was, man, listen. Back then, opening up, if I could go back and do that again, I would.
Yeah.
I would go back to that because back then, man, like you could open up and you were playing like dope R&B vibes and like literally it's 1:30 in the morning and you're not touching the top 10 records. You know what I mean? You're not even close to getting in that mind frame. You're still playing R&B like Welcome to the Party and like, you know, or where the party at, I mean, you know what I mean? Like you're playing records like that and people are going crazy, like next too close.
Yeah.
And nowadays, an opener, you know, not to say, I mean, openers do great now, some, but you know what I mean? Now it's like different. Like opening DJ now is playing like
some
big
of the hits.
trap records.
Right.
And you're like, you know, it's early. People haven't really had a drink yet.
Right.
You know, ease into it. So
yeah, with me opening, it was always I don't know. Maybe that's why like I opened for so long because I knew how to do it so good. And like when you find the pockets and you know you take them in, you know, the 2000 like early 2000s or the 90s and you or like an artist, you know, like you can do it right.
Yeah, I mean, to this day, like even now, like if I get on for a headline set, like I try and get on and almost
reset
and open for myself.
Of course,
you know, like even I've had like promoters come to me like, "Yo, you need to play the hits," and I'm like, "You need to sit back and chill. I'm gonna have the hits playing at 4 a.m. And it's still gonna be slammed in here. Let me, you know, the DJ just played like Dreams and Nightmares at 12 o'clock." Right. You know what I'm saying? Like
they start panicking.
Let me get people in the vibe. Let me get girls dancing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So. Yeah, it's I mean, the opening, like when we would open an FDR, like when I'd open an FDR, I wouldn't touch anything. And it's like, and to me it'd be different every week.
Man, I love a DJ I love an opening DJ that I walk in and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it's a different
rather than I walk in, I'm like, all right.
Yeah, this guy's playing the same.
Playing this, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the room doesn't need it.
The room doesn't need it. It doesn't. I get. You want the attention.
It's an ego thing sometimes.
Right.
Do you think maybe it's because usually the openers are like newer DJs or like more up and coming? Because when you have like a seasoned DJ,
absolutely. But I have seen
seasoned DJs
go in, quote that seasoned DJs that do the same thing, and I think for like a seasoned DJ, to me, when they do that stuff, it's like almost like a spite thing.
Yeah, it is.
Like, you know what I mean?
It's different
like,
levels.
Like I've had DJs like literally, they're playing and rocking, and they're playing like Jay-Z, I Just Want to Love You, like dope classic records, and the crowd is loving it. Yeah. Then as soon as they see me start setting up, bam, 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 swag surfing, Meek Mills, this, that, and you're just like, bro, you're getting off in 5 minutes. Are you doing why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Like, why? No one's gonna remember you as soon as I get on. They're gonna forget who the fuck you were.
Like,
when that's happened to me, like either they just switch it when they see the DJ, or even backwards. I had one time where the guy switched it, like he brought it down. You know,
right?
Like, when he saw me, he was like, "Oh, fucking."
You know what I learned? Man, much respect to LS1, DJ LS1.
Yeah.
I learned from him when I was young, because, you know, he was one of the ones that around the same time I was working for Khaled, that, you know, he was the homie. He would help me out when I had questions and stuff. You feel me? And one thing I always learned from him, I seen him walk in and the opener was blasting all the hits. And he looked at me and said, "Watch this." He jumped on, and I think he went at least 10 years back on his music. And for an hour straight stayed in that pocket. Yeah. And the crowd was going insane. And then he just got on the mic and he just basically said, like, you know, I don't need to play the hits like the other guy. You know, like the subliminal, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like
I mean, LS1 is a monster on the turntables too. Yeah. But
Ross one would say, damn, okay, now I gotta get creative, you know? Like whenever somebody would burn him, he'd be like, "All right, time to get creative."
I've got DJs fired over that.
And like,
bro, when you get older, you realize it's like
I straight yelled at the DJ, "Yo, you'll never work for me again." Matter of fact, get the fuck out.
Because a lot of people, the DJs get like they get like insecure or they're like, oh, they're not confident enough of like, damn, you know what, let me go to the hits because I know that's gonna work, instead of trusting in themselves of like,
and the hits don't always work,
right? Exactly.
Even for the headliner, for me, hits have missed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I've hit a hit and been like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then go to a throwback, like an old like Luda record, and they go crazy.
Yeah.
And, you're
and
like,
they're
oh,
not
shit.
thinking about like you. Like they're worried about like, yo, I gotta make sure my shit is dope.
I gotta make sure I gotta make sure I look good to the promoter.
But
that's and the hoes. You know,
I think the promoter ruined that though.
Also
probably told him, yo, if you do good, you'll be a headliner.
Yeah.
And I've seen, and I ain't gonna lie, I've seen, it's, y'all know, it happens. The promoter all the time will come run. I need you to play this song right now.
That's a big
play
thing.
it right fucking now. You know,
for
like,
sure that has something to do with it too.
Yeah,
they're on even more insecure because they're like not DJing and they're not controlling the party, but they feel like they have some sort of say in everything, and it's like. Then the DJ feels the pressure.
Curse of the opening DJ,
bro. And then it's a trickle down effect.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Exactly.
That's why I preferred, like, when I was doing Opium Group, like heavy, like 5 days a week.
Right.
The opener would be like a seasoned guy. Like
yeah.
Vinny Soul.
Someone you trust. You know what I'm saying?
Someone that always did a good job, because I would play house, so I'm like, yo, play hip hop. They'll like that shit. They'll like R&B.
Right. Play something I'm not gonna play. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
But also, I also think nowadays, since 2000s music is so good still, that's kind of a part of a headliner set,
right?
So there's like a little thing there with the opener, like I know,
but
like
at the same time,
Party Up in Here is like a track you'd play,
but
it's also a track an opener might play.
Right.
But at the same time, I wouldn't get mad if the opener plays it.
Not because
I know DJs that would. I know DJs that have.
Like that, I don't get like old school big records. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like I get it. You know what I mean? Like. There's certain
like Hypnotized and shit like that.
There's certain big records that are older, like, you know, like different records, like Dougie even is a big record to certain crowds. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead. Like I said, stuff that you know I'm probably not gonna play. I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. To me, it's like the obvious last 2-year rotation, you know.
Oh, and one thing I hate, man.
No, I want to hear
it out,
this
bro.
This is look. We started with the intro.
I can't stand the idea of, oh, well, you know, in an hour it's probably gonna be different people in here, so you could play the same song more than once. I've heard that from club owners, promoters, DJs, and I'm just like, yo, shut the fuck up, because it's the same people here, majority of them. And if it's a big enough record, I might play it again. But I don't want to play it again. And I don't want to play it after the other DJ played it. If he played it, I don't want to play it. It loses the juice. It loses the juice.
Yeah. That's what, like, I hate them. Look, till recently, and when I say recently, I'll say like a year ago, I was like 1,000%. I'm not going to play a song twice. Like, it had to be money.
I try so hard.
For like the longest. Like, I'm talking about like almost not getting fired, but like almost to the point where like, I know it will work, but I'm still not going to do it.
Right.
But then, like, recently, like, in the last year or so, I would be like, you know what? Let me do it because I would know the room would flip. Only in that kind of sense. Or knowing that, you know what? This table or this, they're really here. And, like, let me get them for like, a little stretch.
Right.
In that sense.
But it's, like, I get you. For me, it's got to be, like Lemonade right now.
Yeah.
Huge record.
Right.
Maybe I'll drop that twice.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'll drop that earlier at the prime of my top prime of my set, and then like towards the end of my set when I'm trying to bring back you know, revive the second room.
The second win. Yeah.
Right. The second win.
Right. No, same thing. And I've been doing that just because, like, I'll try it like in the pocket where just also because I'm. Like, I always want to see if it works in a different way. Like, we know what works for sure.
Right.
So I'll be like, let me try a little bit earlier with this and this and this and this. And then if I know that the party's like, might have one little boost, second win, boom, you hit it again.
And then here go the other one that fuck you up, right? Parade coming. Client wants this song.
Oh, my God.
I just played it. Play it again.
Play it again.
What the fuck? Okay, go. Play the song. And I'm sure you know what venues I'm talking about.
Of course.
You play the song, 2 minutes later, client was in bathroom. Play song again now. Go. And you're like, all right, that's
how many
times.
What's the personal record of how many times you played
a song?
Yeah.
I remember I played 10
times.
I got one for
Ninjas in Paris. Ninjas. At set, I played it like literally 10 times, bro.
Okay.
In like 5 minutes.
Yeah. So that's crazy.
But not the whole song.
No,
honestly,
you keep bringing it, but like, okay. So yeah, like there's like a big song you might bring back on your own.
Yeah.
Like halfway through the song, bring it back at the big part where everybody chants and you bring it back. Do that, cool. Now the parade thing, I think in a 2-hour set, I've maybe played a song. I mean, I could say at least 15 times because it's so many times they want it played because the same fucking client is buying another bottle. But he doesn't have any other songs on his playlist he just wants to hear that same stupid Drake song that we just heard 1,000 times. You know what I mean?
Like Punjabi MC, that's a
remember. And then the crowd, but it's crazy because then it's like I hate that because the crowd looks at you like, "What are you doing?" And you're like, "All right, I have to do it." Like you see the parade, at least see the theatrics.
For you guys, it's a song. For me, because EDM, it was like the national anthem of Russia or something like that. And
I remember that.
Oh, so we get those sometimes.
And
now a lot more times it's a song.
That was my next question. Like
legit USB into the 4th CDJ, and every time they needed it, they'll play it.
Dude, I remember being at Mokai. And so I say the names. I don't,
Yeah, I mean, I'll say them. I don't care.
But like,
I was talking about Mr. Jones.
Yeah. We knew. We knew.
Right.
But like at Mokai, I remember like this is when it switched to hip hop and I was already out. I remember Don Hot was playing and like they were like whatever Turkish, I don't know what. And he's out there like, mind you, this is 4 years ago when Wi-Fi the club, like downloading shit on Serato wasn't the most reliable shit. He's out there like ripping shit and everything, and Aris is like fucking, and then they play it, and it's like, like a fucking military whatever song, like, and the guys are like, just like,
I've had plenty.
But the rest of the club is like, what the fuck? It's like
playing like a random Russian rap song because the artist in there, and everybody's like, what the fuck is this? And you're like, gotta play it. Or you're playing like same shit, like random theme songs. Of course, the usuals, the Superman theme song, the Star Wars song.
Like, I tell you what, though, when you go anywhere else that's not Miami and they do some shit like that, you're like, oh, that's easy, bro.
Right.
I remember the first time I did it in Vegas, they had like he said, they had a separate CDJ that was just for that.
Yeah.
Where it was like a track list of like 6 presentations, and you just press play. So when the first time they told me, I was like, all right, what do I got? What do I need? Well, I'm ready. I'm ready. Like, who's going to come scream at me? And they're like, nah, just press play right here. And I was like,
see, Mr. Jones,
it's more hectic.
Most of the time,
it's the phone,
most of the times, like, because they do the parades with the big thing coming out, the floats. So most of the times, certain songs, like Batman theme song for this, or like Narcos theme song for this. But then there's the ones where they come, and you're like,
download this.
All right, bro. Like, I just played it. No, you did. It just okay. Play it again.
I don't know what. I don't know what it is about those clubs with those people.
You know what's crazy? That shit, like, it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Like the last few times that I worked with Aris and other people like that, I'm like,
what makes me laugh is seeing the DJs that get like flustered and feel under pressure. Like, yo, just. The motherfucker's just gonna yell, fuck him and just download the song, relax, and tell him it'll get download. Like, you can't rush the download.
Bro, and at the end of the day, like, you're in a club, people are partying, like, it's not like life or death, bro.
Like, chill out.
Even though they act like it sometimes, like, bro.
I'm dying because you'll see the DJ sweating. You're like, yo, chill. It's funny.
But
do they do that to? My bad to interrupt you. Do they do that to like special guests? Like, let's say you're opening for Khaled.
Right.
Would they do that to Khaled? Like, oh, you got to play this Russian theme song in 5 minutes.
So I've seen, I mean, not Khaled, but I've seen big DJs like at Rockwell and Jones and certain other clubs. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen the big DJs that come from out of town. Like, I mean, I've even seen Chucky at Rockwell, and they're like they're telling him, they're in his ear, like, fucking parade, play the fucking song.
It's all about money, right?
I've seen it to DJs. I mean, I don't know how they all react. But I've seen it. I've definitely seen it.
Maybe with him, Chucky, it's easier because he was open format back in the days. But I don't think
I'm sure there's DJs that are like, I mean, I've seen
like a
DJs that are
like Camilo, like a Camilo.
I mean, I'm sure Camilo, like, certain places he'll be like, "What the fuck are you asking me to play?" Like, I don't,
he'll be like,
I don't have this. Right. Nope. Like, talk to the sound guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I always wonder, like,
we shout to Mark at Mr. Jones because
Mark's the fucking man,
homie.
bro.
He's the man.
He's still there?
Yeah, dude. You know, Mark has like hard drives.
He's the
and
guy.
hard drives like terabytes of. He probably has every set from Mansion.
Yeah.
Oh, and he likes to brag that he has what's the like the highest file of music file. Like, there's like a name.
Oh, FLAC.
Flag. Yeah, flag.
He likes to brag that he has like all
the flags,
every music song.
That's the real nerd.
Oh, I got it for you.
Dude, he must have.
Look at my bit rate. I'm like, I don't care.
He must have. He must have like, I don't know what's higher than a terabyte of story. Because
I mean,
he told me, he's like, yo, I have, and I believe him. Like, oh,
yeah,
I have
he
sets.
does.
And why would he like
every
like,
video, every song?
He showed, bro, at Mansion, he would show me like, oh, you want to see Swedish House Mafia, whatever. And he'd show me, like, I would go up to the fucking thing and like watch the shit. It's like watching a movie.
Movies, pornos, he put whatever you want, he's putting it on the screen. Yeah, he's got it.
The light guys are like the most underrated part of nightlife, bro.
Yo, they work like
they
sweat
shit,
like
bro.
You know, there's the ones that are just sitting there smoking a cigarette, just pushing a strobe every once in a while. But you see the ones jamming and like they're on, like they connect with
like
the
if
DJ,
they were DJing.
You know what I mean?
No,
Harold too. Harold is the fucking man.
The homie from Arcadia, and he also worked at, I forgot, Todd. Like, he was
Todd,
like,
Todd, yeah.
He was like low-key
Todd used to get lit though,
and then he would turn up.
He would turn the fuck up. That's why they moved him at set. Remember, he was like in the booth at set. And it was like, who's that guy? You know, like, tall ass white dude.
Legit, there were times at Mansion because the videographers are like in the corner, like video guys are in the corner, and people think those are the DJs. Like they'll surround them and video them.
Yeah.
And I'll just be looking like, yo, they got a bigger crowd than I do right now.
Right.
Yo, but he would get lit. He would, be on the comp bottle, turning up, like doing the shit, and then he would bring his own shit too. And then they fucking moved them to the other side. They moved them to like where the little other room is.
Yeah.
They had to take him away from.
Yeah, facts. He was fucking.
So you were a good opener then.
I mean,
obviously.
I feel
Khaled fucked with you.
I feel like I was one of the best.
Yeah.
Especially in that time. You know what I mean? I just feel like, because I embraced it so much.
Right.
You know, like I wasn't in a rush to be Khaled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I enjoyed like walking into an empty room and being the one, like, fuck being in the one that walks in the room and it's already slammed in there. Like, all right, that's cool. Like,
building this shit up.
You're cool. You're in there rocking a slammed room, but nah, if you're the one that walked in there saying hi to the barbacks while they're still cleaning the bar, and then an hour later you got the dance floor packed for the headliner. I mean, that, like, yeah, man,
I feel like that's some of my best memories are like you
Opening
get there
up.
in the club and you get that smell.
Opening
like
and closing.
that
That nightclub smell.
It's cold as shit. No one's there.
Right, you're like, oh, this is what the couch looked like.
Little by little, you taking piss breaks, coming back, chilling. Everyone's getting there, and then at one, it's just like, whoa, it's a party, and I did this kind of. But that's, opening an empty room is the best.
Closing to me is the best too, because closing, like,
you don't gotta think about anything.
But like I like prep closing, like when you kind of like, depending on who it is, like you close, like you play whatever you catch whatever they missed,
right?
Or you
go and play all the same songs,
or you play like the songs from like the beginning of their set, like whatever hits that they played really early, you can kind of squeeze those in, but then like you can all the little pockets, and then you see the guy you play, and then you see, oh fuck, I forgot to play this shit.
Closing, you really, it's true. You get to see all the open pockets. You're like, oh,
they give you the answers.
Yeah, you didn't play no reggae music, and there's a crowd here for that. Boom, bet. All right, you didn't play no Spanish. Bomb, I'm gonna go. And I've seen closers come in. I mean, it's happened to me.
Yeah.
Like closers will come on and repack the room, and you're like, holy shit, it was 4:30. Like, I thought we were done.
And that's the best too, when if you're done, you're headlining, and then now you could just chill, and you're like, oh, this guy's rocking.
You can actually enjoy it. You actually enjoy yourself in the club for 20 minutes. Like, I bet, you know what I mean?
3 hours.
Depending what time you get off.
Depending what club you're at too.
Yeah.
Nah, the closer, at FDR, I would love to close. Yeah, love the clubs. It was the best, especially like then the artists are still hanging out.
Right,
you make a little bit of bread. You know, you connect and
get the extra little tip.
Exactly. But
so that's what you were doing early on. Then you were opening and closing, getting to know everyone,
right,
networking.
Then, I mean, I would say, in less than a year of doing that for Khaled, I was already getting a lot of calls to do parties and stuff. So I started, I was still doing it for him, like opening and closing for him.
But it was literally just you opening and closing for Khaled?
Just me, yeah.
Shit.
Carrying my own crates. And then, I had my little crew started showing up because they wanted to be at the coolest party in the beach at the time. Right. So it was cool, man. Like at that time, like that's when Khaled's when he used to do his birthday bash. I mean, now he does it at Live. It's just Khaled's birthday bash. But that back then, like people that know, it was
the
called
Temple.
The Temple.
Right, yeah.
And man, like he would do it at Mansion. He did it at Opium Gardens before, like before he moved it to Mansion. And I would DJ those parties. And those he had me doing like the main set. So, I mean, it's been a long stretch.
And those were like infamous parties, right? Man, like everybody pulled out
those commercials.
If you were an artist and he didn't put you on the stage, like he didn't have you promoted, and you didn't show up trying to get on stage, you wasn't it.
Yeah,
you wasn't it, and that's crazy because I'm sitting there like, this is crazy. Like literally, you would be backstage, like you know how Mansion, like how you had that little hallway to get to the back,
right, to go around.
That infamous fight hallway.
Yeah,
man,
the one that had all the posters.
Right. But I can't tell you how many times you would see artists that were just there in the crowd that were trying to fight to get backstage or outside at that back door pounding to get in because they just wanted to be on stage. That's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, those days were crazy.
I don't think I've seen a hip hop DJ ever, and especially that early in Khaled's career. Because remember, that was before Khaled was really putting out
records,
his albums and really nationally Khaled. He was still kind of like local Khaled, but people knew him. You know what I mean? And to see the power he had then, I don't think I've ever seen a hip hop DJ do that.
And you early on, you were able to see like, yo, this guy's just gonna like, he's doing it right now, but I see him like,
I knew it. I was like, all right. This guy, because the Khaled y'all see, like, I mean, the people that don't know Khaled in person, the Khaled you see on social media is Khaled.
Yeah, that's him, right?
Random talks in random voices, like different accents. He has different personalities. He makes up words. Like, he's always doing his little dances. Like, that's always been Khaled. You know what I mean? So, I think, like, when you would see, like, when I would be at the radio station with him at 99 Jams, you would see, like, the way artists, like, would show up there begging to get to him. You know what I mean? Like, so it was just, okay, at some point, this guy, I didn't think he was going to be what it is.
Right.
You know, being in movies and all that stuff. I didn't think it would be that far.
right.
But I definitely saw it and was like, all right, Khaled's going to be something. I'm definitely glad to be a part of the early stage of the greatness that he was. He's become.
Is that kind of how you got into radio? Like,
well, yeah, because so DJing parties for him, the PD that was there at the time, his name was Seth Hollywood. He, he was a party animal. So he was always at the parties. So he was coming to Khaled's parties a lot because obviously Khaled was throwing the biggest parties. So he was hearing me DJ. So he kind of started taking an interest to who's this guy. And then Khaled and Irie kind of, gave the extra push in a meeting with him. Like, yo, you should give him a shot. We might need DJs. Give him a chance. Let him get on the air.
Irie and Khaled were both on 99 Jams at that time, right?
Yeah. I mean, that was more, at that time, Irie was already starting to kind of phase off radio because he was doing a lot of, like, that was when he was doing a lot with the Heat.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So he didn't have a lot. He was always like never had time to be at the station. So that was kind of one of the reasons he also helped to push me in that position. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
Yeah.
He had two pretty
huge at the time. I mean, even to this day, but at the time, even two humongous names going to bat for somebody that everybody's like, who the fuck is this kid? Like, I've been DJing. Where's my shot? You know what I mean? So it was dope.
What was your first position at the station? Intern?
I know they brought me in first time. They called me up. They said, hey, we need you to cover Irie's shift tonight. Come in and do the mix. You're on at this time. Make sure you have clean music.
And you had never done radio?
I had done. So I had done a couple times pirate radio, like for Mix 96 back in the days. I did like a couple sets on there. And then at that time, I was just early in FIU's radio station because I was at FIU.
Radiate 88.
Radiate 88.
Mix 96 too. That was some throwback shit. 96.1.
96.1 man, listen. I mean, that's where Khaled came from.
I used to get all my all the reggae tracks, like the underground
from
shit.
From there.
Right. Me too. Yeah, man. That's where Khaled built his real underground Miami following. You know what I mean? To get him big on 99 Jams and stuff. It was Mix 96, man. He was in there. He was he was literally in like a closet. I'm not gonna say what nightclub, but like in like the laundry closet of a nightclub with the broadcast setup and turntables, and he would sit in there for like 4 hours a day doing his I think it was called the Arab Attack Show or something like that. He doesn't go by that anymore.
Right.
He dropped that a long time ago. But yeah, that's where he got his start. You know what I mean? So then so I did that, and then I did Radiate 88. At first, I was just doing regular hosting a hip hop show, and then after like a month, they let me do a mix. Mm-hmm. And then Jams, that opportunity came, so I was like,
La binga.
Peace out.
Right. See ya.
You've been there ever since, literally, right?
Yeah, man. I think end of 01 was the first time I got on the air. I mean, Big Lip and Super Cindy were doing the night show, so they had just moved to Hollywood from when they were over there in North Miami off the Palmetto and 37.
Right.
So they had just moved, so that was like end of 01.
But when did you say your first words on air? I remember I did that once with Laz's station that he did. Yeah. Bro, and I fucking was, I choked. I wasn't ready because I didn't know that I was going to be on the air, and they gave me a mic, and I'm like, yeah, we're here, baby, let's go. like I thought I was in the club. I'm like, yo, turn this shit off.
So I had a mic my first time, but they cracked my mic because I was on with Big Lip and Super, but so it was crazy because my first time on the radio, so obviously you're nervous as shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're on a major radio station. You got to make sure you're playing clean music. You got to make sure you're online. And then they had like a rap game they did in their mix. So when they did the rap game, I had to play certain instrumentals. Now, again, this is on vinyl, so you're having to dig for crazy records and all that shit real fast, swapping music. And then they cracked on my mic and they went to say something to me, and I was like, and then they just cut off my mic and kept going. But it took me I think after my 4th or 5th time being on the air, I finally was comfortable enough to say something, but it was kind of the same thing. Yeah. It was like one of those you know what's up.
It is what it is.
I'm here.
And what about at the club? When did the mic start becoming heavy?
So the mic, I think it was maybe almost a full year for when I was opening up for Khaled. Mm-hmm. And he didn't show up. So I had to do the whole night. So it was one of those all right, I got to do the whole night. I got to live up to Khaled that the people are used to.
Right.
Who knows what artist might show up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now I got to be on the mic.
Right.
So I tried. It wasn't great.
Right.
I was still learning. I think a lot of DJs that use the mic, you have to learn. And one thing they forget is you have to learn every DJ talks different on the mic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some are I yell. Mm-hmm. When I'm on the mic, I yell. Mm-hmm. It's not just, hey, put your hands up. It's put your fucking hands.
Right.
I'm very, so you have to know, all right, I got to have my volume at a certain level. Mm-hmm. I got to know I can't say certain ways, certain things. I might egg on the crowd the wrong way. And that was a hood crowd back then.
Yeah.
That was a crowd that would shoot gunshots in the club.
That's wild.
So that night was nervous for me because I had to try and get on the mic, and it wasn't great.
Yeah, the mic is,
took me time.
For me, I didn't get comfortable till recently.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things. It's like when you learn a scratch, you just clicks. You're like, boom. Right. And I started just talking out of my diaphragm.
Yeah.
And just when you talk, you just you always have to be, like assertive and just tell people.
Yeah, people always tell me you're a total different person when you're on the microphone.
Yeah, same.
And I'm like, I'm DJ ENTICE.
Right.
Every other time you're talking to me, unless it's like in something where I'm DJ ENTICE, like no, like I'm not.
Right.
Like, but it's true what you said though. Even when you are working as DJ ENTICE, you're like, that's your personality,
right?
Because I feel like people make the mistake, and I'm sure I did it early on, of like, okay, that guy's killing it, let me do it like him,
right?
But that's not me,
right?
So it comes off like,
and you hear DJs, oh my god, all the time they try and emulate another DJ, how they talk and
the saying,
the phrases, the sayings,
the quotables,
the quotables, and it's like,
is there any
voice?
Yeah, you gotta find.
Is there any quotable that you came up with and you were like?
I don't want to. I mean,
there's always so many.
No, I don't want to hear where you go.
No, I don't. I mean, because obviously, I mean, let's be honest.
Did you come up with
a lot of DJs say the same shit? Yeah. So I don't want to say there's anything that like, oh, I came up with, someone else took this and took this from me, and I was the first to say that. I do feel like when I'm on the mic, I try and be as unique. Yeah. So if I'm gonna say something like common, like, oh, put your fucking hands up. Yeah. I'm gonna find a way to say it my way. Yeah. Like that might make you be like, what the fuck did he just say? Like, you know what I mean? Rather than just the average, oh, fucking another bottle, more bottles. The simple shit. Like, no, I'm not gonna say more bottles. I'm gonna find out to say something else. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna try and I've been doing that. But it's all, everybody has the same sayings, bro.
No, of course. Some people, I mean,
but no, there are definitely there's definitely some that okay, I know Cass says this, and then you're like,
can I play my shit?
Did he really just say the same shit? Like one thing I say more than things I say on the mic might be sound bites or little obviously there's certain like word plays in songs that obviously any creative DJ is gonna think about. So you can't say, "Oh, he stole that from me." Nah, bitch.
I say that all the time.
That's an obvious.
Even
that's
like a sample. A lot of times the samples is like obviously.
Like for instance, I do one. Big Pun's "It's So Hard," and then he says when he says the Biggie, give me one more chance. Every time I blend that into the girl on Biggie singing one more and going to Biggie. Right. But I can't say if I hear another DJ do that, I can't be like, bitch, you copying my style. Now, if I know you just heard me play it, and then I hear you doing it,
the way they do it too, like because I've come up with a lot of shit that I hear other people do it or I see it in a pool, but it's like you're saying, it's either a sample or a saying or this or like some obvious shit.
But my shit is the sound bites, wordplay is more something I like to do, and I hear people do that. Like I'll take a song like I know, and this is on my father. I know I was the first to ever take the Esther Dean "Drop It Low" featuring Lil Wayne. Drop it low, drop. And he goes, "Weezy F baby, tatted on the butt."
Oh, DJ ENTICE.
When that song the first day I ever played it on the radio, when it first dropped, I did it. DJ ENTICE, because I used my drop. Right. Man, within a year, I'm hearing DJ tatted on it, and I'm just like, all right. Like, I get it. You can use it. Like, it's one of those, like, if you're creative, it'll come to mind. But it was one of those, like, fuck. Like, that's a perfect example when you're like, all right, I know I did this one first.
You know what I do?
You're going to say, I do that. I do that.
No.
I do that.
I do that all the time.
No. I do a similar. Listen. I do a similar.
Zilla does it.
Oh, yeah. Fact,
Zilla DJ Zilla does it.
Zilla does it in front of me. Pause.
What I was going to say, I do it for en Calladita. I have a drop that starts with no era así, quien la dañó, and then I'll put my drop.
Right.
DJ Khaled.
Right.
No era así, quien la dañó. I do that one. So,
but that's a different song.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about doing the same song the same way. And then there was a point where I would say it on the mic instead of hitting my drop. I'd be DJ ENTICE.
It's not even that. He had the song before any other person did too. So
I'm saying no, that 1,000%. But
there's that. That's not the only one. Like you'll use a soundbite. Like you might have a specific tag. You know what I mean? Like my "Let's Go Tough Guy."
Yeah.
Like I've seen other DJs on Instagram, and these idiots are like tagging me.
Yeah.
and their shit is the same shit. And I'm like,
I've seen that.
I'm like, yo, you fuckface. Like, you're tagging me and using my tag. Like, oh, but I look up to you. I greatly appreciate
I bet you
that.
they're still not DJing though.
Yeah,
I've had someone
not.
steal. I did
Probably
a mix,
not.
and someone pretty much stole my whole intro, and it was like a skit with like scratches, and I'm like,
It's crazy to me. Like, it's like, and I understand. Like, you're ambitious. You want to, you know what I mean. You want to emulate the great. In your mind, like they're looking up to your intro. They're hearing it. They're like, that's amazing. I want an intro like that. Fuck it. I'm just gonna rip it. He'll never hear it. You know what I mean?
And you hear it,
but you hear it, and then you're like, yo, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So I don't believe that whole. What's that saying? People always tell me
everyone
flat. What is it?
Oh yeah. Form of flattery.
imitation's the biggest form of flattery.
Fuck you with that.
Same.
No, it's the biggest form of fucking like copyright infringement.
Me and Entice more often.
Copyright.
No. But for real, I agree. I agree because look, I have a lot of DJs that have done that to me, or will do stuff in front of me, like to me, this is relatable. Like, I'll go somewhere, the DJ sees me, and then they go into like a rock set or a Britney set.
I already know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean it's multiple people. That time it was at a venue that will never ever let that music be played there.
It worked.
Saw me, it worked,
and he did it.
And I'm like, cool, thank you.
No, he did it and shouted him out.
And shouted me out. But like,
see, but at least he showed some sort of humbleness by shouting you out.
But at the same time,
rather than you go to a club, you hear someone do your same shit, and then they just look at you and they don't even shout you out, and you're like, you a bitch, because you heard me do that at 5 o'clock yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck you. You heard me do. Yo, I've had DJs. I mean, it's cool. Like I said, like, I don't believe like the flattery. It's not flattering to me. You know what I mean? I appreciate that you think it's cool. I appreciate that you like my creativity on what I did on that mix. You know what I mean? I don't mind you go home and practice it in your bedroom to learn a new technique or something.
Yeah.
But fuck you, like texting me, yo, that was such a dope mix. I'm going to use that tonight. I've gotten that before from big name DJs.
Somebody,
and I'm like, yo, you fucking kidding me, you loser? You better at least shout me out.
Somebody probably think they're doing it the right way because they like you.
Yo, I put like my Patreon shit or like my if I come up with a routine and it's me doing it, I'll put it up like I like that. I'm gonna use it, and I'm like,
fuck you. Yo, I've seen dope wordplay routines, and I'm like, yo, it's fucking insane. I know I can do it, and I know that would sound crazy if I did that.
But nah.
And people on the radio or in the club where I'm at, they probably haven't seen the video.
Yeah,
but then my mind is like, nah, bro, like that's a unique wordplay routine.
Yeah.
Don't fucking.
Because I feel like we're already playing the same music, so like you can't take away the one thing that we got because it's hard to service.
It's the one ingredient.
The club and please ourselves. So you're like taking.
I mean, let's be real. That's like a rapper. You take a rapper's whole verse and re-rap it on your song.
Jacquees, he does that shit.
I mean, okay, they do that. But you know what I'm saying. But when you hear a rapper do another rapper's like a whole like 4 bars from another rapper, you're like, damn, you're whack.
You're lazy. Too.
It took when you like with Drake and the X shit, like shit like that.
Yeah,
it's not even a homage. It's kind of like, well, you pretty much ripped it off. Like
you pretty much ripped it off.
You don't think that maybe
what you did? You knew it was a hotline. You ripped it off, and you were hoping it would. People would look at you for doing it.
Yeah.
You don't think that maybe nowadays, because I feel like the society and even DJs are so dumb, like even the newer. We got to come out with like a DJing for Dummies book.
Yeah, I mean,
so they know
YouTube, bro.
I mean, now there is, bro. Now
or on Instagram.
Now there's
DJing
so
for
many.
Dummies.
There's so many different avenues. If you want to become a DJ, you can become a DJ
easily.
Out of YouTube, out of Patreon, anything.
Bro, I got a targeted ad on my Instagram of like DJ Academy, like how to grow a successful DJ business.
Booking, sign up for this booking website.
Like one of those.
I don't want to be in your rotary. Like, no,
right.
Like how those dudes sell those like marketing courses, but it's just like a DJ marketing course.
It was a Forex for DJs.
Yeah.
Boom! I'm not on camera.
Nah, it was not even in Miami.
But for what you're saying, like, yes, and no, because I will say there are the young DJs that you see that do really embrace the culture.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, there's those two twin girls. I mean, they're a little older now, so they're not as, it's not as adorable.
We were saying,
I
was watching it with Vito, and we were saying, like, yo, the dad gotta dress them up like more teenagers.
Right.
Like now they're old.
And the whole doing this, like, all right, you got.
It's been 5 years of the same shit.
You're a little older now, but like, you see two little girls like that, and man, they can take out half the DJs in our city. Yeah. More than half.
Yeah, they can take me out.
Half
you
the
know
DJs
what I mean?
in this
room. Bro, they're nasty. Like,
they're really
so
good.
then you're like, all right, so in that sense, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got it. And you can see, like, they play records that they, you know, they do wordplay, and you're like, all right, you kind of know the music, whether you just learned it today for the routine, at least you're learning it. But yes, that answer also goes to all the majority of the ones that, oh, I got an iPad or a laptop, and I'm a DJ now because I fucking have an iTunes account and I can download music.
Yeah.
Like, you're not a DJ. You have a lot to learn, not only just blending, which is the first skill any DJ should learn. Fuck scratching, fuck all that shit. Learn your blending and learn your music. Like, know your music. Like, know every song you play, know the beginning to end of that song. People are think it's crazy how I can't tell you anything I learned in high school in a book, but any song you can play me, if I'm in the club scene, I can word, like, on the mic, wordplay with any part of the lyric, you know what I mean, to any song, because that's a part of my homework. So I do think that DJ for Dummies goes in hand for that. And of course, going back to the openers, you know, certain things, I do think a lot of DJs do need some sort of
mentor,
or just fucking shut the fuck up. You're not a DJ, and don't try and be what I am.
That should be in the book.
I think that should be the
first rule number one.
Prologue. The whole
that's the name of it.
Thing.
Hey, shut the fuck up.
That should be the badge on the front. Like, instead of number one seller, it should say,
shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. You're not a DJ. Like, you know what I mean? Don't even buy the book. Like,
don't buy this.
You're not supposed to buy this book if you need this book.
If you bought this book, you failed.
You failed for failure.
And you open it and it has all the instructions.
But it's just crazy, you know, like, I mean, it's always gonna be like that, man. Nowadays, anybody can be a DJ.
Yeah, it's like that with anything.
Yeah,
it's like someone's gonna come in and do something for the wrong reason,
right.
But it works itself out at the end. I feel like always.
I mean, at the end, of course. I mean, you can come in and nickel and dime and try and be a DJ for, you know, as long as you want, but it's not gonna work. Like you said, it's gonna fail. And at the end of the day, those of us that have prevailed as long as we have show why we do. And we continue. We will continue to. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny.
All of us in our own right will continue to do what we do, and you're gonna be there like, all right, I'm in my bedroom. When a friend comes over, I'm DJing. Like, you know what I mean?
I know a couple of those.
Yeah, we talk.
Yeah. Let me get on Twitch, and fucking my homegirl, my girlfriend from high school was watching. You know, like, you know what I mean? I'm just whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's.
I mean, there's like these people come and go, you know, like, and I always say that there's cycles, like when that happens, or like there's a lot of DJs that get kind of angsty when like a new venue opens and then they see all the DJs. A lot of times it's just layer one, you know, and then they settle or whatever. Like, yo, like, just like if they go for is it a budget or a connection, whatever, at the end of the day, like, the good guys come in at some point, you know.
Absolutely.
Business, you know, the business.
Yeah, business is business, right?
That happened like with the Wharf. Remember, like, I was like, I'll sit back and wait.
Yeah.
They'll hit me up.
You want to bring this guy because he's cheaper?
Go for it.
No problem.
Hit me up in 2 months or in a week.
When you do call me, I'm more expensive. Because now you know exactly why you're calling me back.
Yeah.
Oh, I've done that a million times.
The best.
And people have cursed me to shit.
Yeah, that was my thing.
I've had people for over 10 years that a promoter will never call me again because I told him, go fuck yourself. Now you gotta pay me 10 grand. What? You're Hollywood. No, you thought that I wasn't good enough, and you thought I wasn't worth it. So now you know I'm worth. This is what I'm worth. I don't care if you don't hire me.
They did the math for you.
Yeah,
basically.
Have a nice day. You know, Oh, it didn't work out. Oh shit, your party lasted 3 months.
I wanted to ask you because you had mentioned Mikey Sims and stuff.
Yeah.
Who were around the time of your come up in the scene? Who else was like a fellow DJ?
DJ?
Yeah.
I mean that I was like around.
Yeah, that was like basically like if you're not there,
like a parallel.
Yeah, the parallel to you. Were there any?
Yeah. I mean, I got to show a lot of love to Effect because Effect was probably one of the first DJs to embrace me. Mm-hmm. And, you know, other than, you know, this is before Khaled and Irie and stuff like that, and actually like help me want to be a DJ, you know what I mean? Yeah. So he was always like one of those people that was like, you know, by my side. Mikey Sim. Mm-hmm. It was, I mean, Tony Tone was around every once in a while. Epps, you know.
Yeah.
What's the other guy's name? NFA guy. What was his name?
Oh, Tony G.
Yes, him and you know, Mauricio, Irie,
Ideal.
You know what I mean? Ideal, like, so I was cool with Ideal, but like it was like cool, like, yo, what's up, fam? Type shit.
Kind of like how it is now with DJs.
I mean, I haven't seen Ideal.
Oh my god!
I've heard
the Ideal chapter always comes.
Never recognize him.
The Ideal chapter comes in every. I mean, the segment comes in every few.
I haven't seen Ideal since
the bottom.
Since when he stopped his
mixtape. When drama got arrested.
Mixtapes, when he cut the mixtape shit. When he said, "Okay, I'm done" because of the whole drama thing that happened with DJ Drama. Yeah. That's when I was like, I stopped. I haven't seen it really.
Yeah, you wouldn't recognize him.
That's what I heard. Like I've heard shit about like at one point he had long ass hair.
He still does. Yeah, he has like super long hair.
Is he still DJing though?
Techno.
He was doing techno. Okay. He was doing like.
But he was like touring in Amsterdam type.
Oh, okay.
With Danny Days. Like they were. But
I remember Danny Days. Yeah, Danny Days was cool. I never really like.
He wasn't really hip hop though, right? He was like the open format guy back then. So I don't know if you guys crossed paths like that.
I mean, a couple times. Like I said, we never like were cool, like, but we knew each other. Like it was cordial.
Mm-hmm. Were you doing any open format spots at the time, or it wasn't really that many? It was more hip hop on the beach, right?
Yeah, it was. I mean, so I was able to play that. You know what I mean? Open format, but because I was thrown in the game, instantly known as Khaled's opener and DJing Khaled's parties, which again were hood as shit. It was I kind of instantly got the stigma as a hip hop DJ,
right? And
then 99 Jams came into play, so it's always been predominantly a hip hop thing. Natural, like people just assume. Like,
did that ever like frustrate you or hurt you in some?
It did sometimes.
I think I remember you were like in a clean cut type of look at one point. I remember
I had a clean cut look. That. I had like my braided when I had
you were doing the tie and the thing. Look, like
because I was trying to clean up. I was trying to show people like, look, like I'm not like, no offense to him, but I'm not the hood Khaled, you know, from those parties. Like I can be that guy when I need to be that guy for that crowd. But I'm not just that guy, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, it wasn't until just like recently till I really broke that stigma of being the hip hop hood DJ.
And when was it? I forget that you went on tour with Flo-Rida too.
Flo. So they came to me and they were like, yo, we want you to go on the road with Flo. We want you. I mean, they asked me when he first dropped the Low with T-Pain. Right. They asked me and I was like, nah, like I'm just now getting like situated at radio, getting my name, you know, like I can't just be on the road all year, you know what I'm saying? So I can't do that. So I sat back and then they came back around like, I would say a year and a half before his David Guetta run with the Club Can't Handle Me and
all the EDM,
wild style,
wild things,
Jesus Christ,
Wild
gonna kill me.
Wild ones.
Jeez, I did this for years and I don't know.
We'll edit it.
It's all right.
Say wild ones.
It's the medicine, guys. But yeah, wild ones, like, you know, that era. Yeah, that's when they came back to me. And they're like, yo, we want you to go on the road again. Like
the cities and the countries look a little nicer.
Right. And at this time, that's when Flo was
it wasn't a buzz.
Flo was doing like, he was on every late night show performing.
Yeah.
He was in movies doing like his songs. You know,
and it wasn't hip hop so much
anymore. It wasn't. I mean,
pop.
It was
pop.
Flow pop.
Yeah,
what they called it, right? I think that's what they called
it. Flow pop.
Flow pop.
Pit flow pop.
Yeah,
like LMFAO.
Same lane.
Yeah,
Same lane. You know what I mean? But at that point, I was a lot more established, like on the radio. So I didn't give a shit to go to my boss and be like, "Yo, so Flo wants me to be his DJ. I'm gonna be going on the road 2-3 weeks at a time. So and so's gonna have to start covering. I'm out." And then I did that I mean, I was always cool with that camp, the whole strong arm po' boy camp, but that move was for that reason, to show I'm not just a hip hop person.
Right.
Like I'm on the road in fucking Singapore at their ultra with Flo playing fucking house music before he gets on. I'm opening playing house music.
That's a whole other world now.
A whole other world. Whole other world it opened me up to too. You know what I mean? Seeing all these countries, like seeing how big, because you know down here you're like, oh yeah, Ultra Fest, yeah, it's big, whatever. But when you go to all these other countries and you see how much bigger that genre really is than you think, when you're in this bubble thinking hip hop is everything, it's crazy eye opener. So I was glad because it really gave me the opportunity to meet like promoters, like DJs. Like I met Aoki on the road with him. I met a lot of like Afrojack. I met a lot of these guys on the road with Flo and was able to build some, you know, like I'm not gonna say a friendship, but you know, like
a relationship.
Yes, a good enough relationship. Where I can hit up Aoki on a random, like, yo, what's up? You know what I mean? Like
that was around the time they were just starting to.
They were starting
that whole movement.
Right, that movement. I mean, that was the time when EDM was
booming.
Booming. Aoki was like, and that was like crazy to me because I'm the hip hop guy and Aoki's emailing me records trying to get him to flow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you made that move at the perfect time because EDM was like,
right. And then I kind of jumped off ship.
Yeah.
Right at the perfect time when it started going a little more back.
Abort.
It's still, you know, that genre is still huge around the world.
Yeah, but
the hype kind of, you saw a lot of those DJs started working with rappers and started making trap music.
Yeah, now they're doing Latin records.
Right, now they're making Latin records.
Yeah. So. All the EDM guys make Latin records.
Right, you know.
But how was it being on the road with Flo? Because I mean,
how was the life and like after party, like the booking? I mean, as a DJ, like would you book ahead? Like if you were playing in a city, would you look into like
absolutely. There was definitely anywhere where I had the opportunity, if I either knew someone in that city, in that country, wherever, I would automatically, I'm gonna be there with Flo these dates. Yeah. We're doing this club, we're doing a performance, or we're performing at this concert, whatever. Right. Book me, Flo's gonna come. Right. Whoop-de-whoop-de. Always use the Flo's gonna come. Of course. You know what I mean? Pause. Right. Big pause. Big pause. Always. Crazy pause.
The crazy whole. Pause. Hey, timestamp that one, please.
But yeah, so I used that. And then there was obviously also times where like we would get booked. Like if I knew we were going somewhere like that I wanted an opportunity, I would go to Flo's manager or whoever was involved in the booking and
like
be like,
yo, the higher hand, you know,
try and get me a gig, you know what I mean? Like, let's see what we can work out, whatever, you know what I mean? So it worked a couple times. A lot of the times it was more me having to do the work rather than anybody in the camp. Like if I asked for it, they wouldn't really push for it. Right. You know what I mean? But then obviously we'd be there and we'd do the concert. And then be like, and then after Flo would be like, yo, ENTICE, you ain't DJing nowhere? We need to go somewhere. Why you ain't DJing? Yo, we need to get you booked. But I told you a month ago to book me here. Right. And we both could have gotten paid. You could have got paid to host the after party and I would have got paid to DJ.
Hindsight is 20/20, bro.
But I did take it upon myself everywhere we went to do what everybody's supposed to do and network. Yeah. Right? Hey, I'm Flo's DJ. Whoop. Talk to every DJ I met. Talk to every sound guy. Everybody. Here's my number. Here's my card. Here's my Instagram. Follow me. Everywhere we went. Any country. Even if it was the person picking us up from the hotel, from the airport, taking us to the hotel. Hey, here's my number. Here, hit me up on WhatsApp, whatever you need. Yeah. And that relationship has got me booked in Dubai, in Africa, in Brazil. So, you know what I mean? So that is really important.
Yeah, it is.
So that really, like that whole move with Flo was definitely a big opener for me.
And you guys were doing shit like Good Morning America and like SNL and like weird, crazy shit.
Oh man, we met. Listen, I met what's his name, Regis. God bless him. I took a picture with Regis. I got to meet him. We were on that show. We did Conan. We did Ellen.
Wow.
We did, all the Good Morning America.
That's when you know you're doing it. When you're on
that's
tour,
the real.
That's
the real.
And the checks.
Oh yeah.
Because just being the guy. Because the crazy part is, when you do those, the DJ ain't doing shit, guys. Yeah. I mean, unless the DJ's actually scratching and you hear it, like the DJ ain't doing shit. It's a Pro Tools track being played by the house, but production, and you're just faking the funk. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there 2 minutes faking the funk and getting like a couple $1,000s from like Saft and
it's crazy.
All the unions and shit. Right. And now I'm unionized as a TV musician.
Wow.
For life, you know what I mean? So it's crazy.
That's insane.
That shit and meeting people, meet George Lopez, Conan O'Brien, all these guys. It's cool.
That's crazy. And how long did you go on tour with him?
Altogether, about 2.5, 3 years that I was steady going on the road. Throughout the year we would do like a weekend here. It would be just one night, fly out to Germany, do a performance and fly back.
Right.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So yeah, about like 3 years altogether.
And then after that,
I was with the team a little bit longer after I stopped going on the road. I kind of just said, you know what, I'm tired of going on the road for now. I can go back to my regular life here, try and get back more into the club scene because I was gone.
Yeah.
So I left that lane wide open for anybody to take radio from me, clubs, anything. So I was like, I got to think,
long term.
Right. I got to think long term because, sorry, but the ship is going to sink at some point as everyone does.
Right.
You know what I mean? And where am I going to be at then if I'm putting all my eggs in this basket?
Right.
You know what I mean?
So when you came back, was it difficult to get back in your... radio was obvious, like right away.
And how was the music when you got back? Like, and was there any...
shift? Right?
Shift. And then was there any where you like tarnished, like when the music started changing?
So when I got back, like the last time I went on the road, I got back and I was like, I'm done. Yeah. And I started getting back into the club scene. It actually helped at first because the buzz that everybody was like, this guy has been all over the world now, DJing all these, like seeing videos of me like DJing in front of 500,000 people stacked in Brazil, like it helped that little buzz. And then now people are like, okay, now maybe I will book him at this venue, at a Blue Martini or a random venue that would have never been like, I'm not booking this kid. Like, fuck no, look at him. He's got a fucking beard, tattoos. I don't want that here. Like, that opened that opportunity a little bit. You know what I mean? But then, now here I come off that, okay, now I'm open format.
Yeah.
And that's when that downfall started happening for those songs. And I was kind of like, shit, I just got myself like vetted in DJing realm. These kind of crowds all over the world. And now it's gone. Right. So I was like, fuck. All right. So now I got to go back to being the hood guy. Like, you know what I mean?
But the good thing is you were able to do that.
Yeah.
Because some people get lost in that sauce. And
a lot. Back. But that's because I think that goes to not knowing yourself, which is one of the first things you got to know when you're a DJ. Like, you got to know yourself. You know what I mean? And then it also goes to the part of, just being that, I don't know, you know what I mean? It's just
experience.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's an experience level. There's just a music knowledge level. There's a security level in yourself, a self-esteem level. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, you know who you are, so you're not like leaning on something to identify like, oh, I'm not. Nah, I'm a house DJ.
I'm not trying to, like, it wasn't like I came off the road with Flo, like, all right, now I'm the next Afrojack. Like, I need to be this guy. Like, pew, 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 pew. Like, no, I'm not going to be that guy. But I know if they call me to a club and they say, yo, you got to play 20% house,
right,
10% Latin. The rest can be hip hop. But we don't want the hood shit. All right, now I know I don't have to be nervous of how am I going to transition those lanes because now I got a little more, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
A little bit more vet in that. And then, you know, like I said, I feel like at this point, I've became very much of a chameleon where I can sit into any. I think it's one of the good things of like when you're a good DJ, you walk into a room, you go out of town. You go out of town all the time. You go out of town all the time. You guys do clubs in different venues. It might be a venue you've never been to in a country you've never been to. And of course, we all have that quick butterfly, like, oh shit, I don't know this crowd. Like, how are they gonna react to me? Because I'm me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm just fucking sweating, my bad.
It's hot.
Yeah. No, you good. Yeah. I'm wearing a hoodie too, so I didn't prepare.
We didn't tell you. We didn't tell you that the studio is not outside.
It might turn into a strip show. It might turn into Pornhub in a minute, but
after an hour,
after the Flo-Rida comment and this one,
Jesus,
2 strikes.
Super pause.
Cut. We out. Damn, I lost my train of thought too. I'm so hot.
That's when you know it's a good combo, bro.
Huh?
That's when you know
it's a good combo.
Oh, about the shift of open format,
going out of town, being a comedian.
Oh yeah, about being out of town and feeling that the crowd wouldn't understand you.
Right. And then you got to know how to come into that crowd and read that room, and we have that.
Yeah, you see trends.
That's why DJs like us last so long. That's why DJs like us, you could see like doing different venues, and you're like, why is he doing that venue? Oh, because when you go there, you see like. You know how to adapt. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
And I think it's also the ability to sometimes know that, like, yo, you know what? I might not know. I'm not going to just go there and assume I'm going to kill it.
Exactly.
Let me do a little homework. Let me ask some people because I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be sure.
New venues, I always do my research. I always ask if I can go. Obviously, if it's in the city, if I can go before, I go.
Yeah. Oh, I always go early.
And then the night that I do play, I go early. And I make sure the DJ doesn't see me. If possible,
right?
If I go early and the opener can't see me,
it's about that time.
No, you good? if the opener doesn't see me, even better,
right?
Like
I don't mind that personally.
I'll
go and sit next to the opener.
It changes. I mean, like
pressure. Like, all right,
if I can chill,
rock because I'm ready. Yeah. You know what I mean?
If I can chill for a little bit without him knowing, even better.
I feel you.
If not, cool, all right, but and then you start seeing the trends. You start seeing.
That's me when when I'm not DJing, I like to be I don't want the DJ to know.
Same.
Fly on the wall.
I want to be in the corner. I'm not in a VIP table. Yeah. Like, no, I'm behind the staircase just sitting and watching.
I tell people all the time. I had an opener one time play and same thing. Like he played some shit. He didn't know I was there.
Yeah.
And I showed up and shit, whatever. And then like I played a song and I was like, I'm like, damn. I'm like, this is the second time they hear it.
Right.
And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you played this super early in your opening set. You know that I would play this.
I've showed up early on DJs for that, to catch them.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's my boy. So I told him, I'm like, I did a joke. I jokingly played it for the second time. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, people been here for the last 2 hours, heard it twice. Like, you shouldn't have played that on your opening set.
Oh, whatever, bro.
Yeah. No, he was
cool. Asked for it.
No.
I always hate that response.
But I mean, that's just like I always like to do a little stuff like that too, just always show up early and be there and if I'm not affiliated with the DJ, if it's not a homie of mine that I know it's not gonna, even with my homie, sometimes I wait a little bit, do you, bro, it's always the best.
Nah, whenever I'm out of town, like a new venue or out of town, like I'll show up and the door's open.
Yeah.
And people are like, why the fuck are you here so early? You're not on for 3 hours.
Yeah,
and I'm like, nah, I just want to catch the vibe. I want to see how people walk in, what the DJ plays before me, what they react to that he plays. You know what I mean? Because he might play a Latin set and that's his biggest shit, and I missed it, and then I didn't know that Latin was big in that party. You know what I'm saying?
Same.
So you show up new shit. I always try. Yeah, if I've been there already for a while, like a residency, bitch, I'm showing up 5 minutes before my set.
Nah, when I would go like out of town anywhere, I would go on the Instagrams and the location and all that shit and check in and see watch the stories, watch the videos and see like what's going on and Like now you could like fucking go on YouTube and see like
everything.
You literally see the whole club. Like
literally.
I do that all the time when I check the geotag. And you go through the story and you see same thing with like the people posting and you're like, all right, market research.
Listen, those are the tools we have that goes in the DJs for Dummy book.
Exactly.
Exactly.
We're patenting that shit.
That's
Don't steal that shit.
That's like chapter 6. Yeah, it's like further down.
You
like,
get that far.
If you got that far, if you actually bought the book, because
if you pass the first page where it tells you to shut the fuck up, you're good.
All right.
But I mean, once you came back though, like I mean, I don't know what year that was that you got off tour and all that, but like the last couple of years, you kind of like
strong arm.
It was
got Rolling Loud, the club scene.
The Rolling Loud shit was a big move.
Because you were the first DJ on the road, like when they came over here.
So they had their DJs, 5 Venoms and the other guy, what's his name? Something with an S. The other guy, I forget his name. But those are like the Rolling Loud guys. So they were already a part of it. But I was like the first outside DJ they brought to be on the main stage and rock. And then that was when they did it downtown. When they did it
at the Bayfront, right?
And that one was legendary just because of the scenery.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Then they moved it to
Sunlight,
to the stadium, right? And then when they moved it to the stadium was when I got the opportunity to get in front of the biggest crowd I did for Rolling Loud, which was insane.
That video is crazy.
I was on main stage right before Ray Shremmer, and Meek Mill was surprise guest on the side stage, which is crazy. They put him as a surprise guest on the side stage. He should have been on main. But it was insane because after I performed, I saw, like, I played Meek Mill Dreams and Nightmares because I didn't know he was on the other stage. So I played it in my set. And after, I saw videos that literally I was playing it as he was performing it on his stage. And my stage was fucking lit. And his shit was cool. Yeah. It was nowhere near the main stage.
I mean, your shit was like Woodstock DMX.
Right. Like
that. It was like Woodstock DMX, bro.
So you were Meek Mill, basically.
I saw
I
saw the video and it was like, you look like this big and it's like fucking like Metallica in Russia, you know, like one of those. Like,
it was insane. That was one of those, like, you know, you get certain moments in your career that, like, you know, your hair stands up. Like, that was
for real.
Especially at home, you know.
Right. Like, at home. And, like, you know, all right, the grand masses in there don't give a fuck about me. They're waiting for the next artist. You know what I mean? But they're having fun while I'm on. But when you do say your name on the mic and you even hear 3 people in front fucking go crazy for you in that crowd,
game over.
Man.
And it's dope because you were like used to going on tour and doing those big shows, but that one was like
was my moment, right? Everything else has been Flo. Like, I'm there with Flo. Like, I'm his DJ. I'm his hype guy on stage. Like, nah, this was my moment. I played a song, ran out, and got on the center stage in front of everybody. Like, it was spotlight on me, so it was crazy.
Did you know you were gonna do that, or you're like, fuck it?
You know, that was one of those, like, you know, before your set, you're like, I got to do something magical because
what am I going to do?
This is my moment, right? So what am I going to do? Because now every DJ's artist plays before they come out. So they're all playing all the same songs of all the same artists that are performing there. Yeah. So you're like, what am I going to do? So I was going to do like just a dope routine. Then I'm like, CDJs. I'm not gonna go for it. You know what I mean? Fuck this.
Let me not risk it.
Right. Fuck this shit. So then I just started playing, and when I started feeling the energy come back, that moment I was just like, run out there, pull out your phone, and fucking take a massive selfie. You know what I mean? And fucking did it.
It fucking worked.
Crazy. Crazy. Wow. I didn't, because you're expecting people are gonna throw shit at you, like, get the fuck off the stage. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But people were just.
It wasn't that. And I was just like, okay.
Because I've seen those videos of dudes trying to do that, and then like they're not there for that guy, so they're like, yo, like, nah, right. Bro, and they're throwing
I've seen
shit.
it a million. That's why for me it was one of those. This can go really good or really bad.
It can go on World Star, or it can go.
I didn't hit the bad side. It didn't go really good. Like, it wasn't like a fucking legendary. Yeah.
It wasn't Travis Scott coming out.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't Travis Scott coming out. Yeah, but or Kodak straight from jail coming out.
Right.
But it was good enough that it was like a party vibe. Everybody was jamming, singing along. So it was dope. You
Wow.
Nah, and then after that, you send that to every booker, like, yo, price just went up.
Prices went up. Exactly. Oh, instantly, prices went up.
Exactly.
Prices went up.
So ever since then, you've been kind of back. I mean, not back in, but like you've been in the clubs heavy.
Yeah, you know.
Well, not right now, but.
Well, yeah, obviously not right now. Fucking sucks, but you know the club life. So there's nothing I love more than being in front of a crowd of people. You know what I mean? But there's been, there were times here where obviously work just wasn't there.
Yeah.
Or it just, you kind of just wanted to back off a little bit. You know what I mean? But yeah, so then I got back from Flow, started getting a little back into the club scene again, trying to find which way I want to go with it. Where am I going? You know what I mean? And then the past few years is when I really said, all right, I'm back. I'm attacking. Like, fuck all these pieces of shits out here, lowballing and acting like they're fucking superstars on this. No. Like, it's time to come back. So I kind of, I did a little.
You made that decision.
I put the pressure.
The tough guy walked in.
The tough guy. I brought pressure for the past
Somebody
few
bring
years.
me a challenge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There was no challenges, or the challenges were accomplished.
Did you have any like DJs like, oh, look at this guy thinking he can come walk back in here and? No.
I mean, not directly.
Right.
Yeah.
Not directly. But there's definitely DJs that, we all know the two-faced vibe. You know what I mean? So there's definitely been the DJs that you can sense it, like when they're around you, they have that defensive animosity towards you.
I can do it better than you.
I could do better. Or I should have. I have to act like I'm better.
Or should have been me.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I've gotten that.
Yeah.
Especially, I got that from a good amount of DJs when I became a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
That were just kind of jealous, But I mean, it's true. It was jealousy, and it was just one of those like where everybody else was so like, yo, congratulations on such a big move.
Facts.
Like, yo, I've known enough Camilo, like I've known heavy hitters for my whole career.
Yeah.
Like in 2006, I was at DJ retreats with these guys. You know what I mean? Always wanting to be a heavy hitter.
Right.
If you were a heavy hitter,
it was a
especially
badge.
back then, if they made you a heavy hitter, bruh.
Different story.
That's it. Like people are looking for you. You know what I mean? So now obviously they've expanded, but that they still hold that title as far as, to me, DJ crews.
Like, facts.
Like heavy hitters, like you're known, like worldwide. They have DJs everywhere.
The drop is. You play the
heavy
drop.
I couldn't wait. Oh my God, I couldn't wait.
When you got in the email?
First thing when they text me, so it's official, I was like, I need the drop now. Oh, I needed it immediately. Because when Mauricio was a heavy hitter, I used to always be like, I want that drop.
Right.
I want that drop. I want that fucking drop. Like, I want to play that. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, the drop is wild. It's like one of those, like.
Right. But majority, like I would say 90% of the DJ community here, whether they were cool with me or not, like on a regular basis, we're showing love. Yo, like I think I had like 300 some comments on that post when I posted it from everybody. Just congratulations, huge. But then there's those few that think they deserve it, and maybe you do, maybe you don't. But if you really do, why didn't you get it? You know what I'm saying? And now, because you didn't get it and you wanted it and you're jealous now, you kind of have animosity towards me when you see me. You acted towards way. You couldn't even see me when you saw me and be like, hey, that's dope.
Congrats.
Right. No, you want to be, that type of person. So
that's wild.
What about when you got I also just remembered you were a Dolphins DJ.
Yeah.
First NFL DJ ever. And I have LL Cool J on the record saying that.
Nice.
First DJ ever in the NFL.
How did that happen? And were there other DJs gunning for that, or that
Man, yes, there was one. And one that I know of specifically, which is crazy when I tell this story.
Okay.
But
popcorn.
And he probably won't even know that I know. But so it worked out because my sister, like how I said, she was really cool with Irie. For a certain point, she was working with him. She was helping him with, like, she wasn't his manager, but she was helping him with stuff like, yo, you need to do this for your marketing and stuff like that. So she did take a role in helping him get the Miami Heat DJ, become the Miami Heat DJ.
Right.
Like she had a role in that. So after that, she came to me with the idea, well, the NFL doesn't have a DJ.
Let's do it.
Why don't we go to the Dolphins? And then, you know, she started trying to find who she could find. She started sending emails to people. I think she got the head of the marketing there, and they set up a meeting with me. And we had a meeting. We talked, and they were like, yo, we'll give it a try. And it worked out. And then I did it for like, I think 2 seasons, 1 or 2 seasons. And then this is when, what's his name? The old white guy who still owned it. What's his name?
Shula?
No.
Oh.
The guy that owned the Dolphins.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. I'm not a Dolphins fan.
What the fuck I forget his name. But that guy, it was like old white dude.
Right.
You know, like the old typical white dudes. Like,
Jerry Jones looking dude.
Right.
That
them
vibe.
typical guys. So fucking, I guess, because this came from the marketing guy, you know, apparently when they would be up in their little booth, the owner's booth, him and his little old white friends were complaining about some of the music I was playing. That it was too hip-hop.
Too urban.
Or too urban or whatever. And I'm like,
look at your team.
this is the list that the players gave me to play. So what? I don't understand the problem. Like, I'm playing with their, and when I'm not playing that, I'm playing like random ass like Tom Petty and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not like the regular fight rock songs, AC/DC, and shit like that.
Thunderstruck,
you know what I mean? Thunderstruck, all that shit. So I'm like, don't be mad at me. These are your players.
Yeah.
But when that happened, that kind of, you know, they decided to take another route and not have a DJ anymore. And then now they got new ownership and they kind of like, you know, spiced it up again.
The Heat and the Dolphins were like pretty much the first big major sports teams.
Yeah. I mean, they were the 2 first sport teams in the country to have a DJ.
Yeah, because Irie was the first
Irie
one.
was the first NBA, and that's why Irie always is like, you know, when you say All-Star, he's one of the main DJs because he's like the NBA DJ.
Yeah.
Because he was the first one. Now I think like every team has one.
Yeah, every team.
I mean, every baseball team almost has one.
Yeah,
now.
but you guys were
teams.
like the first
yeah,
in the
so
country.
Like, and crazy that all because of my sister with the idea, like, why don't they have a DJ?
Yeah,
like, that would be perfect. You know what I mean?
And especially the Heat already had one. It's like,
and that's when Miami was popping too. Like the clubs, the parties were fucking and wild.
Right.
So it just everything like interlocked. Like,
and it was cool because I was literally like, I wasn't out there the whole game. I would only be up there until kickoff, but I was like on the field right behind the players, like right behind their bench on the field at the 50-yard line. So I was literally on the field DJing, like set up my system. You know, I still had vinyl back then.
Wow, holy shit.
This when we were still with crates.
Damn.
Yeah.
And you were like in the locker room and all that shit?
Nah, I didn't know. No need to be in the locker room. I mean, I had gotten tours of the stadium, you know, behind the scene, but never like, you know, I never went and hung out with like the players, shit like that.
Like those gigs are always crazy because it's like you're in a stadium or an arena. And
it's
you're just
insane,
like, bro. What?
I did. After that, I actually got to DJ. Once I stopped doing that, years later, UM brought me on, and they had me doing their football and basketball.
Oh, nice.
So that was cool too.
And that's always dope to have like on your name.
Yeah. The funny one was going back to earlier with the whole like first time on the mic thing.
Yeah.
The UM basketball. When I did that, that was the first time at a sporting event that they had me on the mic and like doing my own like whole like sets, like timeout sets, like hyping the crowd on camera, like how Irie does. You know what I mean? They wanted basically me to emulate that, like what they do at the Heat.
Right.
So I'm doing that. So the first day, I wasn't expecting it, and they shine the spotlight on me. And then in the headphones, they're like, "You're on, go."
Oh my God.
So I drop a song, and then they're like, "Hype the crowd, read the liner that's on the screen, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "What?" And then the announcer said something, and he was like, "DJ ENTICE, what's going on?" And I'm like, "You know what it is?
It is what it is.
That's exactly what I said." To this day, my homeboy that was with me, every time he talks to me, that's the only thing he said.
You know what it is?
You know what it is? Because that's literally all I said. The announcer's name was Jay. So I was like, "Jay, you know what it is?" Chicka, 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 chicka.
And then just drop the song.
Right, play another song. Play another song.
Well, when you think of that line, isn't that like hilarious? You know what it is. What?
Yeah.
What is it?
Like, what is
Literally,
it?
what is it?
What is it that we're speaking of?
Oh, you know.
And what do you know?
Oh, you know. You know.
What it is. Oh man,
It's crazy.
DJ lingo, bro.
Damn, I that shit looks a lot harder than no, I'm sorry. It looks a lot easier than it is. Like controlling the crowd for a game.
Yeah, because you have both headphones too. You have like
you have to have the walkie-talkie headset,
right.
and then your headset.
I always see that.
And then you have to probably have another headset if you don't have a booth monitor.
Right.
And you gotta be on time because everything's scheduled.
Everything is
and
when I did the Dolphins, because
Zilla
the stadium, but Zilla
was
does the
doing
shit
it
too.
too.
He would do the party
outside,
tailgate shit. When you do those football, if you don't have the song cut before the ball snapped or something, I forget exactly when it is, the home team, like that stadium, gets fined.
Wow.
Oh my god.
For each time. You have no idea how many times I was fucking up to the point where they would just cut my music upstairs and not even tell me like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They would just cut it.
Yeah.
All the time because of that. There was even times where at a certain point, and did this too at the games, like at the last 45 seconds, like if it was like a 2-minute commercial break that I was rocking, like the last 45 seconds, they would cut me and play their own shit so that they knew when to cut it. You know what I mean?
I mean, at least they had control because it was up to you, and then it all falls on you.
But it's easy but nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's easy. It's just a bunch of people sitting around in the stands, and they're already hyped to watch their team. So you play a hot fight, like a big fight song, like a typical sports song, a sports jam.
All I do is win.
Oh, I download all those, by the way, too. Those
like the touch tunes,
jam compilations,
the jog jams,
jog jams. Oh, I had all of them.
Bam, bam,
It's
bam,
easy.
bam,
It's just
bam,
a matter
bam,
of
bam.
the pressure of not messing up.
Not the pressure of not messing
thousands
up.
of
And then the pressure of all right, you might be in a club or at a festival DJing with a bunch of people watching you, but they're in a different mind frame partying than they are sitting down watching.
Sitting down, anything triggers
a grandfather with his 10-year-old son watching the game, and you're sitting there. They might not understand, but you have to appeal to them somehow.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, not fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's easy, but it's nerve-wracking.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a different level of DJing altogether.
Completely.
That's the last chapter of the book.
Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, like stadium level is. I mean, I talked to Kid Cut Up. Kid Cut Up did Pink. He toured with Pink, and he was doing stadiums.
Yeah, I mean,
she sells and he was telling me, he's like, it's like that's another you have to mentally train yourself
and her shows with
insane
all the
everything. Yeah.
Oh man, that must be.
He told me
Flo, it was
insane.
simple.
Yeah, but I'm saying, he was just talking in those kind of levels. You have to own it, and at the same time, it's so simple because the people are just ready.
It's easy, but it's
right. I mean, DJing for Flo, it's easy, it's simple. For him, I mean, now he's more intricate. He has dancers, choreography, a band, all that shit. But when I was on the road with him, it was, him in the jeans and a white tee, and me in the back with a DJ set, and every once in a while I would run up and hype man with him.
Right.
But man, you don't want to fuck up and play the wrong song or the wrong edit. Or, you know what I mean? The volume's off and
Do you miss being on the road?
I miss those moments, the little little moments you have on the those
the flow state.
Yeah,
the flow state moment.
And then of course there's the little camaraderie you have off stage. That's the fun moments, you know what I mean? So I do miss that. But there's a lot that a lot of people don't understand that, even just being any position for working for an artist that's touring, but even for the DJ, man, I mean, at least for where I was at. And I mean, not just Flo, because I've DJed for other artists, but it's rough, man. It's rough.
Yeah, it's a full time. It's literally a full time.
You got to live on not only the tour schedule, but you got to also live on the schedule the artist wants to be on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And sometimes you have an artist that they want, like Flo, we would get off of a fucking 18-hour flight. You know, that was a red-eye 18-hour flight just after doing a party here in Miami, land in fucking Germany or some shit. And as soon as you get off the plane and take a 30-minute drive to the hotel from the airport, he's like, all right, be downstairs in 5 minutes with your running shoes. We're going to run 10 miles. Wait, what? I'm the DJ. I'm going upstairs to order room service and smoke a joint. Fuck you and get on fucking one of these sites and find some hoes. I'm the DJ. I'm not the super buff star. Nah. You gotta do what we do. You know what I mean?
But that's good too, though, that he was on that mindset instead of like, yo, be the total opposite.
Right.
And, you know.
So, you know, you do appreciate that, but then it's the same time. Like, you know, like, much. And then it's like, you know, like, you don't want to go, you want to go fucking get In-N-Out burger. But he want to go to Crustaceans. And if you want to just be like, all right, bet, see you later. Nah, what the fuck you mean? You got to come with us. Bitch, I want to go to In-N-Out burger. Like, I don't want to go to Crustacean. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to do the same thing, but I have to. So those are the parts that you're like, fuck that.
Everything's on a schedule, like, but it's not your schedule.
You're not my mom and dad. Like, I'm a grown man. Like, you know what I mean? I'm here to work. I'm not here to do all the extra shit you want me to do. Like, you know what I mean? So that part of it, fuck that. I would never want to go back to it. But everything else, I miss it every day. Every day.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go on that website, get some hoes.
I mean, like, fuck. Like, is there a back page in Australia? Like, fuck this shit. You know what I mean? I got other things to do. Like, does Weed Maps work out here? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go work out. I don't. Do I look like I work out every day? No. I'm just skinny. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but that's, I mean, there's you hear some tours, some artists that like they just fucking go ham on the party and drugs and all that.
Right. Well, Flo does listen, Flo can party. Not like drugs, but Flo can party. Like, he's never been into the drugs and shit. Like, he doesn't even, like, I don't know. I don't know what he does now. I can't speak on it now. But back then, like, he didn't even really like smoking weed. Like, he didn't like that I smoked cigarettes back then. You know what I mean? But the boy could party. The boy could party all night and then have to be on TV in an hour.
It's crazy.
The next morning, you know what I mean? So that's cool, you know, but yeah, it gets tiring to do that too. Like the over part, like the new rappers, the new artists are the over partiers, you know, they go too far.
The shit where you're talking about reminds me of like Get 'Em to the Greek.
Right, facts.
Yeah,
facts.
Let me tell you, when I first saw that movie, I said, okay, I'm not the position that
Jonah
Hill plays, but I was the same guy to Flo. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was that same fucking guy. Like, Flo, we gotta go. Like, the promoter's been knocking on my door, yelling at me that we're late for the show. We gotta fucking go. Fuck that. Book another flight. Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? So, like, I was that guy to him in a sense, but being the DJ. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a fun experience, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because when I watched that movie, I was like, yo, I lived this shit.
I had a moment like that, like, so I get it.
Right.
It's rough.
It's rough. I mean, listen, every artist has their greatness to them, but when you tour with an artist, man, like I toured with the Clips for a short time.
Dope.
Yeah. I mean, like, they're cool. They're a little different, you know.
Yeah.
They were dope boys when they came up, you know what I mean? But same shit. Like, you got to be on their fucking schedule, all types of shit. So it's kind of like, you know, that road shit gets rough. And it's not like, not every artist is taking care of the DJ the way they're supposed to.
Right.
Like, you just got paid $250,000 for an hour on stage that I was on with you. How the fuck I'm not getting a piece of that pie? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, not even on the stage, but also on the road.
Right.
Doing all
the extra shit. Going to Crustaceans to eat. Going to work out when I don't want. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to do all this extra shit. Being the one that have to go talk to a promoter and get you free bottles when you want it. Not just Flo. I'm not talking about Flo. I'm talking about in general for artists. You know what I mean? But like, all that shit, and like, you're not really getting a piece of the pie. Like, you barely eating. Like, nah, fuck that. So, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't add up.
Salute to art DJs that stay on the road with their artists. Because a lot of them, man,
they're probably hurting.
You see
right
that
now,
they're going through it. I know a lot, personally, Like for new artists, old school artists that they're hurting. You know what I mean? Like they barely can feed their kids, but they're working for a fucking almost billionaire artist. You know what I mean?
And it's like when you would do those shows, you see the other tour DJs, right? And you guys kind of like,
oh yeah,
you could
it's like
tell.
the little union.
You already knew like the squad, the crew.
And you're like, oh, this guy's not doing well.
Right. You see the ones that get treated like shit by their artists, like yelled at, bitched at, like fuck that. Like me and Flo had our like, you know, like spats, you know what I mean? You go on the road with anybody.
Yeah,
of course.
You're with someone that long,
you get
for so close.
Sibling,
You're
sibling
definitely
rivalry type of vibe, you know what I mean? But like fuck that if he would have ever tried to disrespect me like that. Like I don't know how some of these DJs take that from.
It's not even worth it. Like the
it's not what you're getting out of it is not worth
exactly.
it unless you're really becoming big time shit out of that.
Out of it, or you're like using it to put yourself higher at the same time.
Other than that, it's not worth it.
It gets to a point where you just gotta drop it.
Like I would never want to be Cardi B's DJ.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I don't know about that.
Fuck that. You ain't fucking.
Probably fucking her friends. Or stripper friends.
Maybe.
You don't got to hit a back page there. Back page comes to you.
What's the quality of
look, I don't have to hit a back page when I was on the road with Flo because Flo was bagging hoes.
That's true.
But I, instead of working out, I would rather do that. That's my workout.
Time management.
Yeah, you're right.
It's
priorities.
No, it's pre-show rituals. You know,
yeah.
Part of it.
You know,
it's like this. If in order for me to do well for your show, I need to go to
and like,
all
right, like you don't like to smoke weed, but all right, that's how I want to prep for the show.
Right.
If I don't, I'm gonna fuck up your show. Mm-hmm. So while you go work out, let me go do me.
Mm-hmm. You gotta get the green room right.
Right, you go eat your fish, and I'll go eat my hamburger.
Crustaceans.
Go to crustaceans.
Right
at In-N-Out.
That's it.
Animal style.
But now they could catch you 99 jams every single day, right?
Monday through Friday, yeah. For a long time I was just a mixer there, so now I have my show. So I'm on 2 to 7 afternoon show.
2 to 7, damn.
Yeah.
I didn't
Is it
realize
still
it was
the afternoon get down.
Afternoon get down. Then I do Saturday nights 10 to midnight. I just also got in Duval.
Nice.
I do middays in Duval Monday through Friday at a station up there.
Shout out to
and then I'm on Dash Radio.
Right.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask about that one.
Yeah.
That's weekly, monthly.
Weekly, I do Monday through Thursday. I have an hour slot.
Oh wow.
Mondays it's at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Okay.
And my bad. The 99 jams, that's the main slot, right?
That's the main. So
that was like Khaled's and Iree's.
Well, yeah. So I think Khaled was the first one to do when 99 Jams decided, because they didn't always have a 5 o'clock mix. So I think Khaled was the first one to ever do it. When they brought him over, they gave him once a week. It was just Fridays at 5 o'clock. He would do a mix. And then they moved Khaled up to the night show. And then Irie was steady doing 5 o'clocks. And then after Irie, moved on, then they gave it to me. But that shit has been a long run.
Yeah, bro. And now it's 5 hours.
Yeah, 5 hours. And it's crazy because if you look so now, radio the way it does now is like people wear a meter. It's called PPM. You wear a meter and it detects what you're listening to, how long you're listening to it, where you are when you're all types of shit. So nowadays, where before, back in the days when I first started, it was they would mail out to listeners, random listeners in the city. They would mail out a card with $10 and say, fill this out. And you would fill out, all right, my favorite station, 99 Jams. I listen 10 hours a day. Right. So it was full of shit. It was a horrible system to detect ratings. Mm-hmm. But now, with the meters, it's real time. So it's crazy because when they showed it to me, 5 o'clock on 99 Jams is South Florida's biggest hour, period. And it's been for 10 years straight.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. It's got the highest amount of listeners at any moment in the day are at 5 o'clock, and the peak of the amount of listeners is sometime within that hour on Jams.
That's dope.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so like literally I have the highest hour rated.
You guys built that.
So when you hear me talk shit, yeah, like I'm just me being me, but there's some truth to it.
Yeah, because you built that. Like,
right.
I built this crib. Like,
right.
I'm talking
like
my
I
shit.
literally, because even though Irie and Khaled were doing it before me, like I was the one that really took the legwork of the Drive at 5 and really, brought it to a consistent level. You know what I mean?
And that's dope that it's like the #1 show, but you've been able to do that now during this fucking pandemic.
Crazy time. And I'm thinking to myself, I might not have a job. Like radio might go to shit, but it's crazy. They said radio has taken an actual spike through the pandemic.
Damn.
Which is crazy to see that it actually it spiked up.
I thought it would have been the opposite.
Me too. Listen, I was nervous because I was like, damn, no clubs and no radio. I'm dead. Like, what am I gonna do next? You know what I'm saying? Like, where am I gonna invest my next move into? You know what I mean?
Feels nice.
But when I started seeing, like, mind the haters that keep saying, radio is a dinosaur.
Right.
Podcast is where it's at, bro.
Yeah, no, listen, and podcasts are great because you see the movement, it helps.
Yeah.
But the idea that radio is a dinosaur,
I don't think so.
I beg to differ. Like, I know y'all have heard of Clubhouse, that app.
Yeah.
I've been on Clubhouse and I see these people talking about, and seasoned radio people talking about radio's a dinosaur. And I'll chime in like, do y'all want to see my ratings?
Yeah.
Y'all want to see my ratings? Because it's not dead. Like, what I'm getting at 5 o'clock is streaming numbers.
Yeah,
like Pandora streaming in South Florida.
And
Spotify numbers.
And your show is known. Like, I know that you've broken records. I know that like you've I know that like you have DJs from everywhere listening. Yeah. Like people check in and they know that, and artists check in too.
And not on some casita shit. I know for a fact.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And like, so it's known. Like, is there any record that like you've broken that's like that you dropped it, or like that that's made an impact, and like, or like you play something and then the artist hits you up by chance, or like some shit like that?
So I did have a big part in helping break Rick Ross hustling back in the day. Like, I know that that's Khaled's claim.
Right.
And he absolutely was the ringleader on that without question. But I did have a big part on that. I also, a lot of artists here, I know absolutely I will put everything on the fact that, you know what I mean? Like, Zoe Dollars basically got his deal, not because of anybody else.
Yeah.
But because, and obviously not to take away from his talent, because Zoe is an amazing rapper. But the way I went in on his record, you saw all of a sudden everybody started playing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm taking notes of that when you say that, like, DJs listen. Like, I've had like record promoters come to me and say, like, DJs won't play it until you play it on the radio. No. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know this just like as a personal thing that your show is like that, and that people want it, and like they want the record on,
right?
And they know that hour is the peak and whatnot. So it's
and it's hard nowadays to break a record, man.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you break a record? By the time even like today, Fat Joe called me at 8 this morning talking about his new record that he dropped. And D-Nice played it on his live today. D-Nice was on his live and he played it. Mm-hmm. He brought it back for 30 minutes. And like, Joe's calling me, I need you to break the record. Great. I went on radio and did a movie, but there's a misconception. So I've always said there's a misconception on breaking a record.
Yeah.
I hear too many people say I broke this record because you say you played it first. You played it first.
That's not breaking.
No.
Right. You played it first. Great. I played it first. You didn't break that record. You weren't the one that made that record what it is. Yeah. You weren't the one that made all the other people hear this record.
Or held the whole movement.
Or made a move, put a part of that movement.
Right.
You just played the record. Like, that shit bothers the fuck out of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, that being said, like, how do you break a record? You know what I mean? Like,
to me,
how do you break a record now? Because by the time, especially on radio, by the time it gets mainstream radio, you can't really break new records.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because they got to be top 10 records that you're playing.
If it's on mainstream, it already broke.
Right. Radio now, because of streaming and shit, radio has to play the hits. You can't play unfamiliar new music. They're scared to.
Mm-hmm. But I think that was the one thing that kind of separated it from streaming and
so you'll hear me now take a record that you already heard streaming, but I'm making it sound to the maybe one listener that is a little older and doesn't stream. I'm making it sound like this record is the first time anyone hears it in the world.
Yeah.
So you're thinking that I'm playing it first.
Because like you could be on Spotify or like a podcast or a mix or whatever, but there's that thing of like listening to the DJ like, yo, like I just got this shit. This is the biggest fucking record.
The build-up.
Matter of fact, Fat Joe just called me and sent me. Oh yeah.
And then you bring it back like 20 times, but you're not even mad.
But one, I will take claim to fame. At least, okay, so nationally, without question.
I got one that I'm going to mention. I don't know.
Of your own?
No, of you. You. Keep going.
See if I mention it. But
okay.
So one that absolutely, without question, I maybe beyond his local, area, I made this guy. Was OT Genesis.
Yeah.
And he knows it. He knows it to this day. Busta, I have Busta on record on a phone call saying it.
Yeah.
To this day, I heard somewhere, I forget where I heard the Coco song. And I was like, this song is gonna be the biggest record in that moment when it drops. When people hear of it. You know what I mean? And I was like, I need this record. But it wasn't released yet. So I went on this man's SoundCloud, got the dirty version, cleaned it myself, and played it that same night on the radio.
Wow.
Busta called me like, how do you have the clean version? I cleaned it. Can you send it to me so I can send it to all the DJs? Because now that you played it, everyone's asking for it.
Yeah.
Crazy. And I was like, oh shit, like, fuck, that's crazy. And Coco became huge.
Anthem. Yeah.
Huge.
Mac J remix.
And mind you, this is why I was fighting with people saying this record's crazy, and everybody's saying, Coco? This record's stupid. Like, this is not going to work.
It's so fire.
Okay. It was huge. It made he's not Tom 10 rapper, but it made his career. You know what I mean?
He's still eating off of that.
Locally, though, there's a lot. I mean, not local artists, but locally, there's a lot of records that I will definitely say I fought to be able to break them into becoming a big mainstream song rather than just like the Backpackers songs. You know what I mean? Like Tyler, the Creator, Yonkers on the radio. Although it didn't really blow up. You know what I mean? But like Lil Nas X. I mean, the guy became what he is, but I remember fucking when nobody knew who the fuck this man was, and I'm seeing random videos of little white cowboy kids dancing to some fucking song. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I need to find this song. And then I was like fighting at the radio station, yo, we need to play this record. And everybody's like, no, why would we play this garbage? Well, because we play fucking Tekashi 6ix9ine. We play fucking all these other dumb garbage ass records. Why are we not playing this song that all these people are starting to do videos to?
Yeah.
I got fought. To this day, they fought me on that record. Wow. They still say, oh, you were wrong on that record. I'm like,
wow.
It beat Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
It beat Mariah Carey's Christmas album. Like,
yeah. The one I was going to say is Flip the Narrow.
Flip the Narrow for sure. Yeah. Leave Me Alone.
Like Leave Me Alone. Like you were a big you were pushing that record a lot. And
listen, I don't really push a record unless I really believe in the record. Like Mo Bamba was another one.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, what the fuck are you Designer, Panda.
Yeah.
When I was trying to play it, everybody was like, I'm not saying like all DJs and shit, because obviously there were but like for the masses, everybody was like, what the fuck is this garbage?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Okay, wait a month, and y'all all gonna play the song. Y'all gonna be asking me to play the song.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So there's been a lot of those.
I feel like if you don't believe in the record, it's hard to do that whole bringing it back movie, like
absolutely,
because you're just like
absolutely,
like
I mean, but there that's true. But there are times where like there'll be like a song like I don't like the song, And I might not believe in it, but at the same time, I'm like, I kind of know this is going to be one of those stupid hits. Like, I'm sure as soon as we all heard Swag Surfing, we're all like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. And then we're like, wait a minute. To this day, that you can't not play that song in your set.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, lean with it, rock with it. When that shit came out, we're like, what is this?
Yeah.
And then it's a big record. You know what I mean? So
Laffy Taffy.
Oof.
You know, that record is what sparked the whole big payola scams with radio stations nationwide.
Really?
Because they were like, apparently the claim that the FCC was making was that there's no way that song was getting that many spins that fast, that much in a day nationwide. Because this was, I mean, back then, remember that song was playing everywhere.
Everywhere, like nonstop.
Everywhere.
Nonstop.
So that shit caused a huge thing, like where it started, like now, like radio, you got to sign mad agreements and, you know,
shit.
Because of that record.
It's crazy. Wow.
But do you still think radio is here for a long time to stay? I think it's not a dinosaur, but it's just
right. I think radio has to find a way to continuously adapt to be able to stay relevant. I don't think radio will ever disappear completely. Like you're seeing like Clear Channel had like a huge, massive layoff. Mm-hmm. You know, like you're seeing that. You're seeing a lot of downsizing where they started saying, okay, instead of having 10 DJs, we can have 3, and those 3 we can put on 4 different stations, and they'll do it because they want to keep their job.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's undercutting pretty much.
So I do see radio's kind of taking a shift where, I mean, for years we've known radio is not like, you're not as, you know, it's not a big a deal anymore. Like, you know, back in the days, you'd be like, oh my God, that's DJ Laz from Power 96.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. Or holy shit, that's Khaled. Like now it's like, oh fuck, that's ENTICE. Like, yo, I'm a big fan, but it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? Like radio, like it's kind of losing that edge of having like that powerful, like we are what plays your music. Like you got to come to us for it. You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't.
It's so crazy because the radio's such like a corporate structure and like this entity, so corporate now. And like, but then you see like podcasts and like streaming platforms, and it's so like, I mean, they're corporate too, but it's not so like structured and so like levels and hierarchies and like you got to go through this and through that. But then like they're almost kind of, if not as popular, but more popular.
Right.
But the radio is like,
it's crazy. It's true. And you know, I think the only thing I think that will ever destroy radio is like what we had with the pandemic, like the hurt economy. And you see that because obviously radio makes money through advertisements. That's it. That's where you make your money. If you're going from selling 6-7 minute stop sets of commercials to a minute 30 for a year, you can't sustain. You know what I mean? Because like a major mainstream radio, you got to pay licensing fees to play music.
Right.
So they pay millions of dollars a year, not to mention fines that you get from people saying bad words or bullshit or, you know what I mean? All that shit. So if you're not making that money, that shit is, there's no way to even have radio. You get me? So I fear that is going to be more than anything else what would hurt radio. Would be the idea that advertising disappears because just economy goes to shit.
Yeah, I mean, because the marketing, even their branding might be shifting into something else, you know?
And what's crazy is when you think about it, like, you know, what the changes that could hurt the radio are the same things that the radio, you might need the radio in the long run when all those things disappear. Yeah. Like, let's just say the quote unquote, the great reset happened, you know, and we go back to nothing.
Right.
Well, when you don't have social media, TV and all that shit anymore, radio, you kind of still have the ability to pop a battery in a thing and an antenna, broadcast, you know what I mean? And broadcast. Yeah. Whereas you can't just do other things.
Go online.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, I don't think that's ever going to really happen. But we didn't think any of this shit was going to happen.
They start banning Spotify, start banning podcasts.
You know, I don't know they're going to do that because podcasts, I mean, how can you really stop the internet like that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There'll always be a way.
Yeah, there's always going to be a way. And then like the streaming shits, like Spotify and all that shit, like they're making money for the art. They're generating revenue, and they're not really infringing and messing up any legal rights. Like they're not doing anything really illegal because they're paying. They're paying to play the music,
right?
You know, so how can you really stop them from doing what they're doing? You know, it's not a Napster where it's some free shit.
It's illegal, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's
Radio has to evolve, coexist. Can we coexist with this new podcast and people like DJs going on Twitch and IG Live? Can we coexist with that or not? That's you know, and I mean, for some reason, this past year shown that people are still turning to radio. The numbers are still spiking. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, that happened. Spotify's numbers in music went down like 30%, which is crazy.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Radio went up like double.
Right. Radio's numbers went
podcasting went up like 300%.
That's crazy.
So like Spotify, it went through like a weird phase of like no one's streaming our music,
right?
But everyone's streaming Joe Budden's podcast or this guy's podcast. So fuck it. They were paying less money on paying for songs because songs weren't getting streamed. They started fucking over a couple artists. So you kind of see those articles out that like artists are complaining about Spotify now,
right? Because they're not getting
paid. That's because they just stopped.
So low,
crazy.
Well, I mean, that's because a stream is like so low.
So right.
You know, compared to a sale.
But you know, that's going with the radio thing. That's an argument I always have because when you talk to when you deal with like Main Street corporate radio, the mentality that these older corporate people have is people don't want to hear you talk. Mm-hmm. People don't want to know about you or your day or what you have to say. They want to hear that song. But the way I see it in my 20 plus years on radio, they're here for the music, obviously. That's why, you know, we play music. That's our main thing. But no, those motherfuckers want to hear me say some dumb shit and laugh about it. Or they want to hear like, you know, oh, I think this about Donald Trump. What do you think? Call me up. Like they want that engagement.
That's why they're listening.
So that's why you see podcasts going crazy up because podcasts are not, I mean, it's not supposed to be. Some DJs make it music, but a podcast is supposed to be this. It's supposed to be like
talk show,
conversation, like fuck
essentially
it. I want to sit here and fucking Tourette syndrome for an hour.
Someone wants what you do is a podcast. Like the parts where I've seen you interview Jesus and Mero and shit. Like that, that's a podcast,
right? You
can put that on a streaming service as a podcast, and that's where I see the evolve.
But that's what people want. That's what people want. That's why you see the numbers dropping on music. You know what I mean? So I do think radio has to evolve to that if you want to stay alive.
I think they're already doing that.
Yeah. They're seeing it.
Some are, some aren't.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? You see where the success rate is on the ones that are doing which. You know what I mean? But it's tough because corporate is just so stuck in this mentality that no.
Yeah, so backwards.
The research shows that the listener wants music. Yeah, of course they want music, but they also want to hear someone talk. Because if not, they're going to go to Spotify for the music. And they're not. They're going to the podcast. So what does that tell you? So
it's time to open it up.
Yeah.
So everyone got to make sure they keep listening to DJ ENTICE every day 2 to 7 on 99 Jams, bro.
I might come looking for you if you don't know.
But yo, I think it's been like 3 hours, bro.
Yeah, man.
No, it's been great though.
2 hours.
2 hours,
bro. You got anything to say to any young?
Where can people find you?
On 99 Gems.
Well, I mean, you can obviously find me on the radio.
What's Instagram, your socials?
Social media. My Instagram is at DJ_entice, and it's ENTICE. It's the regular spelling because I've gotten every other kind of spelling for it. And then my Twitter is just at DJ ENTICE. Facebook is DJ ENTICE. SoundCloud is DJ ENTICE. Website is DJentice.com. Yeah, so that's how you can find me. And then, of course, on the radio.
Just Google DJ ENTICE.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you Google me, like, I hate to say that. Google me, bitch.
Google.
But like, if you did Google DJ ENTICE, like, plenty will show up.
Well, yo, appreciate you stopping by.
Appreciate it.
Always, man. Anytime.
Thank you.
Pleasure. I enjoy it.
We will definitely
Always
have
fun to talk
a part
shit.
2.
Yeah, we'll have a part 2 for sure.
Yeah, no, this is definitely
recurring episode.
Yeah, this is gonna be a part 2 for sure.
Hey, I have no problem.
Hey, you gotta come and play ball though.
He doesn't really play ball. He said football. He told me, you play
Soccer.
football, I'll play.
Football, soccer, I'll play. I mean, I'll play basketball, but it's either going to be, this guy really fucking sucks, get him out of here, or it's going to be like, yo, this guy keeps fucking fouling, I'm going to fight him in a minute. It's going to be one or the other.
And we
play right on brand with what we do.
I was going to say, and we play with CR.
Right. I was about to say, play with CR is going to be foul, bro. Fucking foul, bro.
No. He'll fucking harden, like, walk
4 steps.
like,
but trip out when you call it travel.
Oh man, yeah, but I'm always down, man. It's a pleasure to be here, man.
For sure.
Well, I've been watching.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, we're friends. So I've been watching what you guys are doing, and I ain't gonna lie, I've been kind of waiting for. I ain't gonna lie, I've been kind of waiting. Like, damn, they've had some nice people on there. I'm not worth it.
Wait. Look. When I got on and started like working with these guys, I remember I was like, yo, it was the first one that came up to mind. I'm like, ENTICE hasn't been on here.
Yeah.
And we put it on the list, and it's just when we invite people, it's like very like tomorrow this, tomorrow that.
Yeah.
So finally I was like, yo, this is a perfect spot. And even Zea was like, let's get ENTICE.
Yeah,
let's do it, bro. It's fucking time. That's why I had to hit you up.
Listen, man, I'm opening the invitation to myself. Okay, so anytime, man. I'm more than happy.
For sure.
I enjoy having fun.
We definitely will.
No, this was great. The 2 hours fucking perfect.
Next time we could dabble into more talking shit.
Right. No, but this was perfect. A lot of our listeners are young DJs and up and coming DJs and DJs that want to learn more about DJs that aren't in their lane. So like. You're a very accomplished DJ that somebody in Cali might not know who you are.
Well, shout out to all of you. I mean, I don't know when this is gonna end, but it is National DJ Day today.
Yeah, today.
Wow.
When we're filming,
I got like one of those.
So man, salute to all. Salute, guys! Happy National DJ Day.
Happy National DJ.
And salute to all you DJs out there. Listen, I know I talk shit. I know I do all the bring me a challenge and all that. Like, I'm better than you, and there's DJs and there's DJ. Like, I know I do all that talking shit. But look, man, like, whether you're one of those DJs that I can't stand that opens up and plays all the hits and is groupied out, salute to all of you, man. Like, it's a culture, embrace it. If you do embrace it, we all will embrace you back. You know what I'm saying? So look, man, if you really want to be a DJ, do your homework.
Buy the book.
Buy the book. Coming soon.
Pass the first page.
DJ for Dummies. All right, we out of here.
Peace.
Peace out, y'all.